Software testing is complete. Electronic payment system's ready. It's all working, Julie. Where to go, buddy?
Fucking away, Bubs. You know what? You are the fucking man, buddy.
So, yeah, if you want to share this anywhere.
I mean, I honestly don't think there's a snowball's chance of fucking hell this business is going to work, but I did my best. Here we go.
They can't hear us.
Electricians, dishwashers, floor cleaners, lawyers, doctors, fucking politicians, CBC employees, principals, people that paint the lawns in the fucking rooms. Get stoned, it'll be fun, get to work.
Just, you know, general area.
Oh, it's
tell us your social security number, Kay. Now that we're on stream, they can all hear us.
Details.
I want to know.
I have personal details.
Look, I'm going to need a credit card number. I got shit to buy. I'm going to need a blood type. You never know when it's going to come in handy.
All you need to know is I got a rainbow cloaca hidden under my basement.
Ow! Cloaky! We got it. We got it, dude. Nice and early. We're going right back to form, dude. Jack Daniels, not a sponsor. Made to taste like shit.
Yes.
This is what it's supposed to do. This is normal.
Some DC brow.
Oh, it's bad. Let me tell you. We got Havelock in the chat. Good to see you, Yakov, he says. Well, good to be back. Good to be doing this shit. Believe me, it's been rough, and I've been starving for it. We got Musenberga Teg or something like that in the chat. Hard edit. Yeah, we do be editing. Oh, dude, speaking of which, check out Alien Perspective. You can find his music all over the place on TikTok, yo. Use it in your videos and shit, dude. Alien Perspective for the music. Jamie in the chat. Griffin Stoner. Scar. Plunet Zero. Got whoop whoops happening already. That's what we love to hear out in fucking Juggalo country. Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop. I did go to the Gathering of the Juggalos this year. I did go. Don't you doubt it. I'm not missing a beat on this shit. That's Mecca to me. So yeah, we got some new arrivals here hanging out for the panel. I wanted people who are actually interested in paranormal in general. That's a big problem that I was having with the stream, is like I liked all the panelists, but man, they were not the paranormal experts. I want that. I want that for me. I see other people with 1 million views on YouTube, and I'm like, Jesus, why can't you just make me the cool Bigfoot guy, right, Matt?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, exactly.
We got Matt with us here tonight. How you been, Matt? Long time no see.
I've been pretty good. Yeah, I just been growing my own food, have chickens. I just been doing that farm life, man.
He's out there like growing quesadillas and shit in the quesadilla field, and like, what, you know, you gotta have enough tequila to water the whole crop for the year. Is that how
I
you
wish, but hey, no, well, I got something neat, man. I'm growing pineapples.
You're growing pineapples, dog? All right.
Yeah,
I respect it. I don't trust it. You're gonna have to send me a fruit basket, dude.
Okay.
Okay, that's a deal. We got Jack Genocide with us. What's up, homie?
How y'all doing?
Ah, dude, fine. And we have Aussie Savage.
G'day.
Yeah, we got
Welcome.
a good day.
Welcome me. It's my first time ever doing anything like this.
Hell yeah. I want everyone to be as nervous as hell. You know, brave young boy.
Fix this fucking chair. It's all out of whack. There we go.
We got the chair squeak stream most definitely happening. You look out for it. If there's a chair squeak, you put it in the chat and I'll take a drink for the chair squeaks.
Oh god.
We can do that. So let's start out with the newbies here. What is your background in the paranormal? What are your interests? What are your earliest memories of being into this stuff? And why the hell do you want to talk about crap that doesn't matter like this? So let's go with Aussie.
You want to start, Jack?
Let's go, Jack. Go with whoever. Just go.
Fuck, I'll go. It's all good. I'm just a millennial internet nerd. That's all I am. So, in the early days of the internet, you had lots of those cool, like, little GeoCities sites with like the spinning skulls and whatnot. And talk about the cult and magic. I just like reading about that stuff. I've never actually tried to cast a spell or anything like that. And I got into some I think I watched a parody video of Illuminati conspiracy theorists on Something Awful or something when I was about 16. And then I was just like, this is really cool. And I went and looked into the conspiracies and started believing them for a while.
You gotta believe him. If you didn't believe him, you missed out on a whole thing in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think
like drinking non-alcoholic beer.
Now people are starting to get into it. People probably a bit older than us now, like Gen X started getting into some wild conspiracy theories when they couldn't go to work because of the COVID stuff and whatnot. And now I think they believe a whole bunch of bullshit. And I think I've become very
cutting out a little bit,
observing so many wacky ideas over the years online and understanding the ins and outs of the internal logic and how they work. And Yeah, I'm very much. I hope I'm not disappointing anybody, and I'm not hurting the energy of the stream. But I'm more of a skeptic than most of this stuff.
And here's the thing: is
Yeah,
like when you're
yeah.
into conspiracy theories long enough, you become like the master conspiracy theorist. And for every conspiracy theory you see, it's like, well, who's benefiting from this conspiracy theory? So that becomes a big thing. But then it's also you're talking about these other generations, and you, like it's never clearer like what conspiracies are true and what aren't until you see a boomer out there talking about conspiracy theory. It's like, oh, you just literally heard some talking heads say this, and there's literally no evidence for it. It makes me rethink things because it's like stuff that I'd be like, yeah, that's probably true. Then I hear the stupidest person in the world say it. I'm like, maybe someone's benefiting from this. It's the Q stuff that really did it for me. You have people out there repeating Q conspiracy theories who don't even know who Q is.
Q's AI.
It's also just very easy to lie about it. Like it's anything, and paranormal too. Like it's like maybe if say for example, past life regression is actually real. Well, how do I know the difference between a person who's telling me their real past life regression and somebody who's just making it up? I don't know, even if the whole thing is real.
It's a reasonable question.
Apply that to any paranormal phenomenon. So,
I can go on TikTok and I can make like whatever random video about Bigfoot, and it'll get hundreds of views, and it'll get a ton of likes. Like and that's the thing, the views aren't necessarily that high, but the participation is like through the roof. Like the engagement. People are clicking stuff like mad, their favorites, they're doing all that. But the thing is, like, I can also make a TikTok about how, like, Pee Wee Herman believed in Bigfoot and went squatching all the time, and he thought, like, Bigfoot was, like, half human, and none of it's real. But I'll just make the TikTok, it gets just as many views and likes. It literally doesn't matter if it's real or not.
Classic.
Pee Wee Herman's, like, stroking it in the bushes to Bigfoot.
I wish I could do the impression. I gotta get the AI voice. I don't have that one. Yeah, but
it would be stealing your used tampons from your trash.
And but this is the reality, and this is why I'm so comfortable doing like a paranormal podcast as opposed to anything serious. Is because it's all fake. It's all fucking fake. Every bit of it. All the news is fake. All of the politics you believe in are fake. You're living in a fake country. You have a fake nation. All your ideology is all fake. Everything is fake. And I don't want this. It's not like I want anyone here sitting thinking like I'm like specifically talking about them. But the point is, like, you are in your little bubble, in your little echo chamber. We all are.
Yep.
And to everyone else looking at it from the outside, it's fucking fake. And whether it's Bigfoot or whether it is immigration, no matter what the fuck you're looking, it is fake as shit. You are literally looking at somebody else's opinion to get you to believe some dumb shit that, like, they thought it was best that you believed. And that's all it takes. And nobody reads articles; they read headlines. That's how things like the Daily Stormer got so big. Is because the headlines were funny as hell. Nobody read the articles. What the hell am I going to read that for? But it's the same way with all of it. As you see, CNN and everything turn into sheer clickbait. I feel like I watched the Daily Mail become like tabloid clickbait in real time. And you know what? The truth of that is, it's way cooler now. Now that they're reporting on like the Chinese manufacturing fake animals for the zoo, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Diet Cola Sunbears.
That's great.
That's funny as fuck. I'm way happier hearing about that than, I don't know, any politician. I don't ever want to hear about these people again. My only ideology that I'm left with is that I just don't want these people anywhere to ever be in my... I don't want them. Take them. You take them.
Take me to the zoo where the Tibetan Mastiff is a lion. I want to see.
They got Tibetan Mastiffs as lions. They're selling fucking guinea pigs as dogs. They got the zookeepers dressing up as gorillas and dancing around. And now you have a man in a bear suit going ham.
I thought the rat dog was like a fucking rat. It was a guinea pig.
It's a bamboo rat.
That was one weird looking. I don't. And here's the thing, dude, because they also be manufacturing fake articles to go along with fake animals and fake countries, fake economies. It's all the same.
Imagine Imagine the fake shit we're gonna get with AI.
Oh,
We're getting
It's
it.
here.
They,
Oh,
they,
God.
retarded shit.
this is kind of my point. Is I think they've been giving it to us. I think we've been reading articles written by fake people,
Oh yes.
and we've been
90%.
posting them
I was
around
gonna
like
say,
it mattered.
Like 60% of the internet's like fucking
Yakov.
bots. So yeah.
It is. I was actually going to say, every single time somebody brings this up to me, wherever I am talking about it, I always say, Yakov, he said it first. Talking about when you said, I remember exactly what episode, well, I don't remember the episode number. I remember exactly what we were doing. I was playing World of Warcraft, and it was just me and you doing the show. And what you were saying was they're just going to make straight up hologram politicians. And they're
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
they're probably
It's
just doing that
Joker.
now.
They already did that.
That's
They already did that in
real.
India. It's already happened in
But
India.
if you were gonna
That's what it
make a
was.
hologram
It was India. Yeah, it was India.
president, why would you make Biden? Like, why would you make
Biden
him,
is
like,
the
fucking
prototype.
prototype.
He is the
Biden
prototype.
is an AI.
Joe Biden is
Or the
perfect. Like,
moles.
he's not a real person. You have to like juice him up with drugs to like get him going. He'll never have an opinion of his own or a thought of his own ever. He'll literally just say what's it's. This is like
He's a
what I
meat
always
puppet.
say is that this is like if Disney was funding the government and Mickey Mouse was president. And now instead we have like fucking I don't know the military industrial companies funding the government, and Joe Biden is their Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
It's like
He's also-
it wouldn't matter if he was alive or dead. He could be dead right now in a hologram. It wouldn't fucking matter. He's perfect.
It's kind of like Warhammer, also with like the Corpse Emperor. You know,
Oh,
like the
yeah.
Corpse Emperor is like sitting on a throne, and like everybody thinks he's a god and everything, but he's really just like a fucking lich, like skeleton sitting there, and they're just like draining his energy. I don't know.
Jeez.
I mean, Biden does give off some lich vibes. I will say that.
Yeah.
He does.
Now I do think Warhammer is real, essentially.
Yeah.
Just like people say like Lord of the Rings or Lovecraft are like inspired works, like they were channeled or something like that. I think Warhammer is like the same. I think interactions with like AI and with aliens and stuff might go similarly at some point. Jack, I don't think I never got around to asking you what's your background and all of this stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, I was on a similar kind of trip of like early YouTube, like Alex Jones, all that stuff, and like back when you would just like every conspiracy theory was available like easily for you, like at at like just a click away. And then before they kind of ruined it and everything, but also I got really into like chaos magic and Crowley and all that kind of stuff from reading comics, from reading like Grant Morrison and Alan Moore comic books, and like finding out that they were into this kind of stuff, and I started reading about it, fucking around with it. I guess I would probably say I'm like a armchair occultist on some level, but I don't know. I mean, I like to think I go a little deeper than that, but I definitely don't know as much as like somebody like Kay clearly about like a lot of this.
Did you ever jerk off on a squiggle?
As we've said, we must keep our occult secrets hidden, or else our Shakti will be released.
That's right.
I love how everyone knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's talking about fucking sucking up mercury through your cock like it's an elephant trunk and holding it in your bladder for 3 days.
And then you can
That's
use
right.
your cock as like a baton and like I don't know.
It generates
Well,
a
mercury.
gravitational force that makes you fall forward through space and time, right? So
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's how the TR3B is propelled. They just inject mercury into their.
exactly.
Scar in the
If AI
chat.
is making porn, then we're all jerking off on squiggles, right? At the end of the day.
Dog, it turns
Hell
out
yeah.
fucking like real women are just too cheap. You don't even have to change the fucking practice here. They're cheap as fuck, and there's plenty of them. Keep showing up for work. Fuck, man. They're like, the thing is, there's so much AI porn out there, but it's like, nah, this bitch is they're like breaking her in real life.
What if she's not real?
What if it's a hologram?
It's possible. She do be aging out though, dude. She do be aging out rather fast.
It only costs $200 now. Like that's how much they pay for you to be an extra in a film forever. So you go to the studio, They take like a 3D body scan of you, film you doing a couple different things. They pay you $200, and you sign away your rights to your image for the next eternity.
Damn.
You should.
I will be
$200.
the next Disney
$100
princess
is
that
not
will use my
enough because you can go
likeness.
donate plasma and get that in like a couple of days.
That's a good idea, actually. I am kind of broke. Thick Boy in the chat asks, have you ever seen that cryptid from Akron, Ohio? Apparently there's sightings of a goblin. We got our boy Cyrax out there fucking... He's unleashed. He's a beast. He's crawling up and down the fucking the houses, dude, and in and out of the bushes. They see him late at night. Yeah, our boy Cyrax did a whole episode on Cyrax. If you check out the Tape Eaters playlist, there's a whole me reading the Kiwi Farms article. So if you're having a hard time getting to Kiwi Farms, I mean, you want that content, it's out there. So Cyrax recently beat a troll with a fucking baseball bat. It's awesome. I don't really know what to say other than that.
Wow.
And then one of his main trolls moved across the street from him, like literally bought a house, is what I heard, just to troll him. I don't know.
Damn, that's dedication.
I'm gonna move across the street from Chris Chan. Then I'm gonna find out he's actually a really cool dude, and then I'll have to stand up for him. He's like, not that bad.
You have to think about that.
Thanks, Yakov, for standing up for me.
Did you see what his mother was wearing?
You're telling me you wouldn't smash Barb?
That poor pussy.
What else you got here? We got Dirty Goblin. Everyone's talking shit on Cyrax for being a dirty goblin. Come on, dude. He beat a troll with a baseball bat. It's awesome. Yeah.
Dirty goblin.
Cyrax arrest vid is amazing. He screams for mercy. Screams, I tell you. That is something he does. I don't know. I don't know what to say about lolcows, dude. I don't know what to say about that. I know a lot about aliens. I don't know anything about
When's
lolcows
his next
whatsoever.
album coming out? I can't wait for him to. He's gonna have a fire album in prison.
Yeah, no doubt. He's gonna convert to Islam. Yep.
Mashallah.
I'm gonna give him the Quran. He's not getting away this time.
He's not getting. Mod's gonna like roll up. It's gonna be like a scene from one of the movies where they have the glass box, and Mod like rolls up and like Cyrax is there.
Chat, let me know if any of the audio's off. Anyway, what about that fucking alien disclosure, dude? How close are we to being told the truth about the alien menace and also having to give them a bunch of money so that they can exert more control on us or something?
Oh, well, immediately until 2030.
2030, huh? So you're telling me we live in a free country until 2030. Everything's fine.
No. So
No.
it begins immediately. You're gonna give the money right now, and you're gonna be given some questions to ask yourself until 2030 when they decide that they actually don't have to answer any of your questions because the aliens actually already took over what their job was, telling you what questions to ask.
All right, well, that's all very complicated and, I don't know, absurd. But, like, what the hell are they, dude?
Who?
The aliens, bro.
The post
Are they made out of, like, skin and stuff?
Probably. Maybe.
Probably.
I don't know.
Do
Are
they
they-
have physical aliens or not? What's everybody's position on that? Do they actually have
They say
an
they
alien
do.
life form?
Well, Phil Schneider
Some of
killed
them
one,
say.
so I mean,
There you go.
There's a number of things going on here. Here's what's really weird, honestly, is that for all of the video they have of UFOs, and granted, there's a shitload of what I would consider, what I can, as unidentified to me, from when I look, I'm like, I don't know what that is. Ton of those videos, and they look so legit. Not a single one of them has them, like, going into space.
Nope.
There's no
they're always
space
going
involved.
underwater. It's water.
They go,
usually.
well, they'll go, like, in and out of reality, seemingly, and I don't know about videos of that, but lots of people have said that in the recent UAP hearings that we'll get into. They were talking about that, how they go, like, from non-material to material. They'll go into the ocean. You have reports of them underground. What you don't have is reports of them in space.
Well, I seen a thing full space one time.
Go
Yeah,
on.
I kind of wonder if the
Yeah.
disappearance
Go on,
thing is
Dingus.
like a
Go
cloaking
on.
technology.
Hold on a second. So, I was standing on my porch, looking out towards the horizon, listening to the drone of the airport. You know what an airport sounds like. So, anyways, I
Ghetto.
was staring off into space, looking at the horizon, and the sun was setting, and you could see the stars, right? But there was like, it was twilight. There was like still a bit of the sky was like kind of pinky purple, black,
Purple,
you know.
purple sky, lean sky.
So I was staring off into space, and you could see the stars, and then I got this like feeling like it was like a telepathic signal coming from the horizon. That's how I would describe it. And then there was like this weird funnel that sort of formed. Like, how can I explain? So space sort of bent into a funnel shape. Like if you imagine a 90-degree angle and a perfect arc that fits the curve of the 90-degree angle, then you would have like space forming a funnel, like bending from out in the sky down towards the horizon. And then like this object on the horizon went, it connected with the funnel connected with it, and then it sort of bent back into space off into the stars, taking the funnel with it. So like space was completely warped into a funnel shape and then warped back into itself, taking its normal shape.
Wait, so what does the craft do exactly? Jack, we're getting some sound coming in.
Me?
An echo, yeah. Hearing
Oh,
ourselves.
my bad.
It's cool. If you don't have noise suppression on, put noise suppression on. It's down by all the call options. Okay.
I mean, the only experience I have, I've had 2 UFO sightings, but the biggest one I actually got a picture of was I had stopped at a gas station as my truck was kind of overheating because I was driving an old shitbox at the time, and stopped to let it cool or whatever. And I went inside to go get some Gatorade and snack, and I happened to look up and I noticed there's this trapezoidal shape, and it's kind of like it's white and it has white lights on it. You can tell there's like bright lights on it, and it's kind of just hovering there, like probably I would say probably 7,500, 8,500 feet above the gas station. I had to guess. And it's just there, and everyone starts looking at it. And I take my phone out and take a picture, and everyone takes a picture of it, kind of like because it's like that's a weird looking plane. I'm like, that's not a plane. I don't know what it is.
They just needed some
And then
Takis and Mountain Dew, dog.
And it kind of sat there, and then it glitched, almost like it glitched out. Like I'd have to say, and then it was somewhere else in like a split second, and then it was gone.
Oh.
It was the weirdest shit, and it was like 20 people saw it or more.
I would say some of the best evidence we have for aliens in space essentially is like remote viewing stuff.
Yeah. The guy talked to him on Mars, supposedly.
But and that's the thing is like you can't substantiate it. It can't be done.
It's unfalsifiable. The problem with remote viewing is like, okay, this experiment has been done a bunch of times. So a remote viewing tasker will he'll make up a story. He'll imagine a city that doesn't exist. He'll write a little story about it, describe all the details of the city. Then he'll have people remote view the city, and they describe exactly what he imagined. It don't exist. It has no existence other than in people's imagination, and yet they're all getting the same information.
It's just telepathy. It's just sending imaginary information between.
That's the conjecture. Yeah, that's what it seems to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, does there have to be that big of a separation between like this dimension in our brains and the physical reality? Like, couldn't they be
It's
kind of the
interesting
same?
you ask. It's interesting you asked that question because the sort of idea that I got from seeing something fold space that one time was that somehow like folding space with a craft has something to do with consciousness. It has something to do with the mechanical augmentation of the powers of the mind. Like in Dune, how the navigators fold space using drugs.
Yeah, the Mentats.
Once again, it's the same thing in Warhammer. Like they can get into the wormhole, but they can't get through it unless someone's like, a psychic is essentially guiding them.
Yeah, chaos is just the unconscious.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
well, for me,
in Warhammer,
the immaterial is the flip side of the material.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like that is a place of pure consciousness where, you can't quantify time and space at all. And yet you are encoded with every bit of it. And it has all the same information that is in our physical. I don't know, as you are a human who has like the animal side and, the divine side, it's like I think you're meant to traverse both, essentially. I think a lot of these things people are seeing as crafts aren't crafts at all. I think you could compare them to like some sort of yogic ability. There's been plenty of stories of people who can teleport, bilocate, be in two places at the same time, and stuff like that. And then there's all the stories of the Merkaba, which is like, how do I even describe that? Maud, can you help me?
Oh, simple. You reach enough awareness of God that you can basically enter um the enter the presence of God without being annihilated.
Well, it's usually shown as a spiritual vehicle. And when that word is used in the Bible, it's talking about the throne of God. Right?
Yes.
So it's like it's always shown as like a geometric shape that's spinning, and you see it as like a 3D tetrahedron.
Yes, that's how you travel. The spinning is important.
Now, once you're into the spinning,
That
you can kind of see the saucer shape.
Yeah, and that generates a field, and you need that to cut through various levels of
So this would
space-time.
imply that if it is this level of spirituality involved, there doesn't need to be a craft.
Right.
Maybe. Maybe the craft just
Which
makes everything go easier, faster, like using a computer to connect with each other.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But it seems
According
almost
to
counterintuitive once we start talking about the immaterial and you're trying to build this like material thing. I don't know.
right
I'm not a
in
scientist, but it sounds counterintuitive.
in the
So we
astrology
headed into
we
the.
have
Sorry,
I
you
don't know,
have
go.
certain
I
certain
was just gonna say we headed into the
particularly
headed into the territory of if UFO abductions, UFO encounters are not occurring in the physical world; they're occurring somewhere
That's
in sort of a spiritual
I actually
dimension,
knew an
dreamlike state.
abductee.
So the
Yeah.
Greys are raping people's minds.
was he cool, K?
Yes.
yes.
Well, he didn't believe he was an abductee. He refused to believe that idea. But I'll tell you what happened. So I used to sell this guy some weed, right? And we'd sit in his car and smoke a little weed, and then part ways. And when we smoke a little bit of weed, we have a chit chat, right? So one time, I knew him for a couple of years at this point, and we had been talking about like lucid dreaming and like Tibetan, that famous book here, the Tibetan Yogas of Dreams and Sleep by Tenzin Wangyal. Maybe you read it, maybe you haven't. Anyway, famous
Nope.
book. Okay, it's a cool book. I used it myself when I went on a trip. I went for a trip and used it for like 2 weeks and got some interesting experiences. So I was telling this guy about that. And then he was like, "Oh, that's really interesting." And he said, "Maybe I've had lucid dreams. Can I tell you about it?" And I was like, "Sure, man, go right ahead." So then he started telling me that, like, oftentimes he'll lay down in his bed at night and he'll be going to sleep, and then he'll have sleep paralysis, and then some little gray people will like come through the wall, like the wall will change, and it will be like a space, and then these people will come through the wall into his room, and he said it's extremely frightening, and they telepathically communicate with him and tell him that it's time to go with them to their ship. And he says, "Not without her." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, who's her?" And he's like, "Well, there's like a really tall female gray person, and she makes me feel safe, and I won't go with them. I won't let them take me unless she's there." And I always tell them like, "Not without her." And I'm like, "Okay, so what happens then?" And he tells me like, "Well, basically, then she and some other little gray people come through the wall, and then I'm like, I can't move, and I'm asleep, but I'm awake, and I'm having a dream, and I go through the wall with the people onto a spaceship, and we go places, and they do things to me that I can't remember, and I'm afraid to remember, and don't want to talk about, and I go underground. I don't want to remember what it is, and that's a lucid dream, right?" That's a lucid dream, right, man?
That dude
I
was
mean,
getting
I'm
fucking
not crazy,
abducted.
right?
Hmm.
He
And I
was
was like,
getting date. He was getting
No.
date raped by the
yeah,
Greys. That was what
yeah,
it
I guess
was.
that could be a lucid dream, man. I guess so.
This stuff, because now it raises the question you're asking, like, well, is this shit happening physically? It's like,
I don't know.
have we decided what they are yet? You know what I mean? Because all of this abduction stuff, in all honesty, it kind of strikes me as mind control experiments.
Hmm.
Well, yeah.
Have you heard of an experiment where a bunch of people? I don't have the reference on hand, but a bunch of people smoked DMT in a clinical setting, so they were all
The
they're all
Strassman
in hospital
stuff.
bed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly, but apparently they all experienced the same hallucination, and it was getting abducted by Greys.
Now, that's not quite what I heard. I think I read that book a while ago. I've read a lot of stuff from it. It wasn't always Greys, but there was definitely the experience of laying there with these things over you, like looking down at you. A lot of the time, it was like insectoids. It was like bug people, mantis people.
Oh, the mantids.
Well, I can say this about DMT without a doubt. My experience was very much laying there on a table being examined by something. I did not experience anything that I would think was an alien at all. I got sucked into the portal. I was laying there in a slab in the dome of the churning colors. Out comes the most beautiful being I've ever seen, made of jungle and leaves and just the nature, the world, made of just nature. Most beautiful female looking thing I've ever seen. With like the attributes of a human, just made of like churning leaves and jungle.
It's like a Skyrim Spriggan.
No, not like that. It's hard to explain.
No, they're ugly.
But now, the vibe I got from this thing was not alien at all. It even turned into a snake and scared the shit out of me.
Oh.
And but it was a great experience. I've only felt good about this experience ever since. But from that, I can kind of tell, like, yeah, you're gonna kind of have an abduction experience. But I don't think the types of things you see are set at all. Like, I think a lot of this is archetypes in our own minds. Does that mean it's not real? It's like, no, that's a whole other universe that most people didn't even realize was there. It's all very real. It's ingrained in you. It's built. It's coded into you for a reason. It's not bullshit. You know, and you can look at it a million different ways. And once again, we're back at like, what's the nature of these beings? It's like, I don't know, but I do sense that there is like a wide variety. I think there are things that are flesh and blood that might be living under the earth. I think there are weird things that the government has made pacts with. Does that mean they're aliens? Not necessarily. I think there are, you know, clockwork elves and stuff living in our consciousness, crap like that. I think they're all there's a fucking category for all this shit, and it's not clear cut where the line is drawn at any point.
Or like the reptilians, yeah. I mean, when it comes to the DMT
You know-
studies, there's a lot of consistency across the different experiences people report, and there's like a number of different entity types that they report, but there's a lot of consistency. And with the reptilians, I mean, as we discussed earlier, if you consider like the Hindu and Buddhist mythology about the Nagas, they are physical beings that live in bejeweled cities under the surface of the earth. And they can come to our plane of existence either in an ethereal like spirit form coming out of the water, or they can possess people, or they can even like show up in a physical human form by shape-shifting. So
Well, I buy that. I guess like on some like primal level, I think that's real or something like that. Also, the Darrow, these like evil dwarves that are like sexually perverse, that live underground, and they have like giant noses and like gray skin, and they kidnap people.
That sounds like
and,
the Tommy Knockers thing from like fucking West Virginia.
But
knockers are relative to the Irish knockers. I'll get to that later.
It's from it's from a series of stories called the Shaver Mysteries, or by this guy, I think William Shaver, who like got diagnosed with like schizophrenia, and like he basically was catatonic for a period, and he claimed that he was in the city of Lemuria underground the whole time that he was catatonic. But then when these got published, a bunch of people like wrote letters to his publisher saying that they'd had the same experience going to Lemuria, being molested by these dwarves called the Darrow. And now they're like a D&D monster and shit. But I was gonna say that still can all exist, and Anna Polina Luna or whatever, and AOC and all these senators and congressmen interviewing about this can still be complete bullshit, and I think it definitely is. Like I think like whatever they're talking about, maybe something exists, but this is still a psyop. We're still being psyoped by the government
super fake.
about aliens.
Super fake.
Yeah,
Totally
they
fake.
just-
Yeah.
Like the whole Russia China, we gotta weaponize the orbit bullshit. Told me it was
that's
pretty much fake.
Yeah, and when you watch the recent UAP hearing, like when you watch these things, you're not getting that much information. You're not getting the alien stuff. That's not what you're watching this for. Like, you can pull that off any bullet points later on in some article, whatever. But like when you're watching it for like the stagecraft, for propaganda, for you're trying to pull all that stuff out of it. And the first thing that jumps out to me every time I watch one of these is they have people playing specific roles. They got the Luna chick. She's like pregnant and glowing. She's a beautiful woman, and she's there playing the part of like, I'm for the people. People need to know. We need to get this out for the people. The people of every people. That's her. That's the role she plays there. Then you always have another guy is like the science guy and spits out a bunch of science facts a million miles a second, and you get nothing out of it. But it all sounded very official and important. So you got that guy. Then you've always got the warhawk who's like, well, what if it's China and Russia? We need to secure full spectrum dominance because of China and Russia.
Weaponized space.
But that's the convergence of all of these things is that the aliens are a threat. So whether it's China or Russia or anything, it doesn't matter. Weaponize everything. Weaponize the shit out of it. And it's all about control. Every bit of it's about control. It's about one world government. And it's like so played out to me to even say it, but like you can watch like Hollywood movies in the past decade about like alien contact, and there's a lot of them. And the message is always like one world government. It's one world government, essentially.
Yep.
Well, because even if the aliens come here and they're not a threat, they're like, you're supposed to have, they just trick you into having one world government. I watched Arrival recently, like 2016.
Yeah. That's when they're in the fucking hazmat suits and they're trying to learn. And the language is like the weapon or whatever.
I watched another movie where the Earth was like deteriorating, and the last thing they could grow was corn. So like the corn farmers were like the greatest heroes on Earth, and like NASA was like the remnant of NASA was fighting the government.
Yeah, it was Interstellar.
Yes, and they're trying to make like the best corn possible because corn is the best, and we all just need more corn. And it's like that's actually the real world. We fucking subsidize farming and make them grow a bunch of useless ass corn, and then we have to do something with all the corn.
Biofuel.
It's all it's all justifying this fucking new world order we already live in. And like, once again, look, I don't know how far we have to go into this to be like the new world order is taking power. The fact is, there is only like, one central authority on all the world's money. It's all backed by like one central bank.
The International Monetary Fund or some shit.
If that's not one world government, if that's not new world order, like, I don't know. I don't know what you're waiting around for. It's bad. But consolidation.
And you got, the corporations like fucking BlackRock coming around and buying up property. So like no one's gonna fucking be able to buy property. They're gonna have to rent it. And when you're like in control of that, you're gonna like it's gonna fuck everything over. Like no one's gonna get ahead.
You have strange mystery companies. You have them popping in and like buying up a bunch of federal or not federal land. It was private land, but land all around a military base. And they'll buy up like miles and miles around a military base, and the government says they can't figure out who they are. It's like they know who they are. You can trace the government can trace these things. They have the ability. And everyone's saying like it's China, but it's like maybe some like shady corporate thing was given a bunch of money for black ops by the US government to create a whole city underneath the ground. And you'll never see anything built on top of it, so the questions will stop being asked. No one will care. But there will be a whole ass city underneath the ground there.
Well, they told us in the hearing. They told us in that fake ass
You're
hearing.
lying,
Flame.
Questions.
You're lying, yeah.
Shaman
I never
here.
lie on stream. I'm always honest. Unless I'm
You
talking
need to
about Pee Wee
show
Herman.
me.
You're not sure, dude.
You-
Pee Wee Herman was a pedophile. He's a
Pee Wee
pedophile. But was
Herman
am I
was
lying
stroking the
about
big
that?
foot.
I don't know. You have to
He's
decide.
stroking it.
He was an
It's
eyes wide
official
shut.
lore.
You need to show me these underground bases, bro.
I will, dude.
You
I'll take
need-
you
I need
there.
proof.
We'll go,
Was
dude. We'll
Pee Wee
film the
Herman
whole
a gray?
expedition.
Was he a
Yeah.
gray alien? A graylien?
How about the deep underground
A
neutrino
gradient.
experiment? You guys ever see
Gradient.
that?
I've seen that.
I never
Seen
saw
all of
anything. I haven't seen anything on officially. Are you recording this? I haven't seen any.
Oh well, you can look it up on Google. It's like a huge ass scientific experiment with multiple underground huge ass facilities with multiple clean rooms that are the size of football fields each, and they
That's
like
pretty cool.
shoot particle beams under the surface of the Earth from one facility to the other to like do all kinds of experiments with highly accelerated particles and all that shit.
Yeah, they got like a whole fucking city under Denver, and the government like will
Yeah.
just admit this. You can look it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody knows there's military bases built into like the Rocky Mountains, but you don't think that shit goes further. And it's like when you watch
Oh, it
those
does. It's
UFOs fly
everywhere.
directly into the ocean, where the fuck do you think they're going?
Hmm.
They're going to cities,
Atlantis.
not just bases. They're going
Atlantis.
to cities.
Again, this is the whole thing with the Darrow, is that there's like the city of Lemuria is just I don't know, I think it's underneath America, and it's like just this gigantic city that where they just they kidnap people. You got all these missing people every year, missing children, and then they're
Is
just these
it-
like sexually deprived beings
is
that
Deprived or depraved?
Is
They have
it-
lots of
depraved,
sex or no
depraved.
sex.
and
They're
deprived.
deprived.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of incels.
Is it-
Incel City.
Underground incel cities.
Pretty much, yeah. They just want to. They're just like, oh, but it goes back to like all the kind of David Icke theosophy types. Like they're just like
Yeah.
dark beings that are like bestial, are like our worst nature, like our most like negative and animalistic side. They basically like represent that, but they're also like extremely intelligent. But all they want is like basically like rape, essentially.
David Icke would say that they're very,
There we
very
go.
intelligent, but not wise.
Right, right.
What's up, Flame? What were you going to say?
Well, I was about to say, like, he hey, what's up, guys? He
Hey.
said something about like it being called Lemuria. Is that like just a normal
A place.
like? Is that like a underground base just happened to be
There's
named
three
Lemuria,
places.
or is that the
Lemuria-
fable?
cultures:
Lemuria.
Atlantis, Mu, and Lemuria.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's Mu.
Is it just
Okay.
named after that,
Mu
or are you
was
saying that
the-
this is the actual
Well,
Lemuria?
it gets kind of like Marvel
Yeah,
Comics, because like in
it
Marvel
is.
Comics, there's like the fucking Atlantis that the fucking the Deviants control, and then there's the other Atlantis that the Atlanteans control, and like they're both Atlantis. Or no, I mean, they're both Lemuria. There's two Lemurias in Marvel Comics. My bad. Yeah, they're both called Lemuria, and they're just two different things. They're two different like evil races that control them. It gets it's like this mythology, this lore gets like to the point where it's just kind of absurdly overlaps each other. And it's clearly some bullshit is going on here.
Well, get this,
But,
dude. Fucking in Warhammer, all the snake people are fucking in a cave worshiping Slanesh. You believe
Hell.
that shit?
I mean, that's how snakes do it in real life.
That's
They just
pretty
get in a
funny.
big ball underground.
But this is what they do.
But-
this is what
but,
Phil.
Chance-
This is what Phil Schneider was talking about when he went underground and got in a shootout with the reptoids who were hanging out in the caves underground worshiping Slanesh.
Well, we know from
Right.
the
This all
Phil
goes back
Schneider, what you're
even
telling
to
me is
Robert
Phil
E.
Schneider is a
Howard
space
with
marine.
the Conan story. Robert
He's
E.
got a bolter.
Conan being a descendant of the original Atlanteans who fled to the mainland, and Conan and Call, his ancestor, are forever locked in combat with the Serpent Men, with the help of Doom, and they worship a serpent god by the name Set of all things. So this Luminara was in my research, a real thing, but it was what it was an offshoot of the Atlantean Empire, and it was mainly situated around the west coast of the United States. Mu was very much its own thing. Mu was off the coast of Australia,
Huh.
and they had reportedly it was people that had no mouths or eyes.
That's spooky, dude. You're telling
That is
me.
spooky.
I would have tried to exterminate those guys too if I was in land.
Right.
Well,
So they were.
But to answer, oh, go ahead, Mod.
Yeah. So this whole thing about, I think there's definitely an underground tunnel network because in Islam there's this teaching of the earth before the arrival of humans being populated mostly by what we term as jinn, which is just a catch-all term for unseen creatures populating a cave network, an underground cave network. And they were destroyed in a war with basically lasers from heaven itself, which burned
Ace.
everybody on the surface.
Space.
But they retreated underground.
Is there?
So, from my perspective, they just kept digging. And it's all these different races that have been locked in this protracted struggle for eons.
So jinn are essentially terrestrial, like right? They essentially would have come to
No,
being
it's
on Earth. They are beings of Earth, right?
They're
it's
semi-corporeal.
not really.
Okay.
No, jinn is just a term for other sentient creatures that are other than human, right?
Okay.
Other than humans
Gotcha.
or your typical animals. They can be terrestrial, they can shapeshift, they can phase through different dimensions. So, especially with the stories surrounding them, there's like whole in the Islamic cosmology, there's like whole planets just populated by jinn or angels. There's giant wars that go on. The Shias have all these hadiths that
So do the
say
oh man,
Ali
I'm so tempted to go way into the
is
weeds here.
space. Right. There's all these Shia hadiths that says relatives of the Prophet's family led armies of space jinn against armies of other space jinn. There's if you read the alchemy books, there's like the sun is governed by a jinn. All the different planets are governed by
And this is much the
unseen
same as the Hindus
beings.
say.
Right.
That there is a
Yes.
deity who's in charge of every planet, every plane of
The-
existence.
Everything is like split in this like feudal medieval structure of all these races that have existed for eons.
Well, to connect it to the Hindu and Buddhist mythologies, so if you want to look at like underground snake people, that's where all the most beautiful ladies are fucking.
Great.
They say that the snake people have like bejeweled cities deep underground, and it's kind of hellish on one hand, but on the other hand, it's also where you have the most intense forms of like material pleasure that can exist.
It's literally
Well,
Yeah.
Warhammer.
it's the unconscious. That's the unconscious. Like
Warhammer is real life.
all of this. So underground cities, the deep ocean, our deep history that we don't know. Is that me?
No, it's Flame doing dabs.
Oh,
It's
okay.
blowtorch.
Sorry, bro. I'm over here
So
smoking.
like deep
Classic.
history,
I'm gonna
the
mute
darkness
myself.
of history. The darkness of history, the darkness of the ocean, the darkness of the underground world, underground cities. All of this is the unconscious, the dream, the dream world, essentially, the unknown, and all of this brings out like sex, beauty, horror, like primal instincts, all that sort of shit. and we try to but there is something there. There's also something there. But as soon as we start trying to talk about what is there, we get all these contradicting theories. We get like 50 different races of grays and reptilians that are all at war with each other, and they're all trying to invade at the same time. And there's 2 different Lemurias that they're both at war with each other at the same time. Like we just get this chaos of intermingling, paradigms that don't really work together.
I think part of the thing that's important, an important distinction to make is that we got our human microcosm, the small world of the human body, where you have your ego and your subconscious and your unconscious, and there's also the macrocosm, where we could consider the macrocosm as having its own post-Freudian or post-Jungian topology of the id, the ego, the id being like the libido, and underneath the libido of the id, with the subconscious being there, you have the unconscious, and then the ultra unconscious or collective unconscious, and the post-Reichian ultra
Psychoid level?
libido substratum of the bions and orgone, and beyond that, if you go upwards, up towards the logos, beyond the ego, you have the superego and the superconscious and the transcendental ego. So you have the transcendental ego in the most ethereal layers, and in the most dense layers, you have the transcendental id, the ultra libido substratum.
Where the hell are you going with it?
Well, you see, if you consider this duality of transcendental id and transcendental ego, you can consider that the transcendental id is the unmanifest, the empty space, which is the origin point of all things. It's the extreme past, outside of time, right? The prenatal. And then you can see time as a line, and we're moving from the extreme past through the present into the infinite future, which is like the development of the transcendental id into the transcendental ego of the
I don't know what the fuck
logos.
this guy talking about.
So he's
Oh,
talking
he's
about,
going somewhere.
Come around.
Believe
he's
in
talking
K.
about,
Believe in K. I
give
believe
him
I
time.
believe in K. I believe he's going somewhere.
Let him cook.
It's okay.
So I mean,
Let's
to,
move
to
on to
tie
the
it back
UAP
to Buddhist
conference.
mythology. To tie
Okay.
it back to the Buddhist mythology, I mean, we have the myth of Shambhala underneath the mountains, where the kings of Shambhala live, right?
Right.
And they're human beings like us, but they live under the earth. And in the 24th or 25th century, so like in the year 2500 or whatever, they're going to have a jihad where they come out of their subterranean kingdom to destroy the New World Order.
Cool.
So
Cool. Now we're getting somewhere.
You know, I
And
was
all the
reading of
Muslims. You're
God's
forgetting all the
beasts and
Muslims.
men.
they'll be in charge of the New World Order by then. So
Yeah.
Wait, but aren't
Khalid's gonna
they the
specifically
reptilians that are
tell
running the New World Order also?
you tell me. I'm just an
Oh,
ignorant person.
You
who
were
knows
saying in
nothing.
2030 the aliens are going to take over, right? Which aliens?
Oh,
The Covenant
the gray-
lands on
the
Earth,
Graylians.
according to the Halo series, on
Or you said
2033. So
is it the evil grays or?
It's probably the Greys.
whichever shitty aliens the government made a pact with.
The Greys sound like they're the most assholish of the aliens.
That gets
Yeah,
that
I
brings me
can-
back to this because he talks
Oh,
about
wow.
I can't tell if
Oh,
you can
one
hear
at
me.
a
I
time.
think I might have
Where's
muted
that?
myself.
Oh, that's cool.
Where you
Aussie.
Can
Yeah.
anyone hear the Aussie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody here actually believes that there are real space aliens coming in spaceships from space.
Oh, no,
Maybe
I
some
think-
of us,
no,
There might be
no,
physical
One at a
aliens,
time. One
Hold
at a
them
time.
all.
but
One at a
nobody
time.
believes
I-
in space.
I shall start, and I will send it to Flip. I think it's almost inconceivable to me that there couldn't be aliens. I think it's probably the least likely option of like what's happening right now on Earth, that aliens are coming and they're messing with us. I think that's silly. Like,
Yeah.
I think all the older heads within this, like when I'm saying older heads, like Yakov knows, like people that have been in this circle since like since the early internet days. Like I'm talking about like 2000s, 2010s, all that shit. Like the people that were in that shit back then already are thinking that, dude. Like these things are not coming from another solar system. They're not. Dude, this is trans-dimensional beings. Like, whatever realm that they're coming from, we don't know nothing
They
about it.
literally admit this in the
Yeah.
conferences now, that they go,
I
they
mean,
come
yeah,
in
they
and
would
out
just
of
they could lie.
dimensions.
Like no
Yeah.
one thinks these
They,
beings
they
can
could
lie.
be physical. They
Weird.
could just be under the sea or under the
Yeah.
earth or something.
Oh
like
no,
that.
Well,
I definitely believe these are tangible physical things that you could touch and feel and stuff.
I'm sure you
But there,
could, yeah, but they're coming.
but there are like stories of them of these things like actually not being bolts of metal. Like they seem to be like a living entity, like maybe even biomechanical, or even maybe like a shape-shifting essence thing itself.
I absolutely believe the government has crafts that can like go in and out of the
Yeah,
material.
absolutely.
I don't know. It doesn't require
Yeah.
aliens for me to think that that's possible.
That
I don't know.
because it's like we have stories coming from all the way from World War II of like rumors and stuff like that of like these what you're talking about being fabricated and put into production. And apparently they're flying around. Apparently, like there was something going on in Antarctica that warranted a military expedition down there.
Yeah,
that resulted
wasn't there a
in
whole like missing naval unit from that?
Okay, so
Yeah.
Errol Bird found a Nazi base in 1944 in the Arctic, and they reported in the New York Times that they had come under attack from German aircraft that were flying way faster than the jets they encountered.
New Schwabenland.
Have you ever considered this Admiral Bird guy as a Freemason liar?
Yeah, they're all Freemasons.
I've
'Cause I
also
sure have.
considered
he's a
that
liar
there could
for
be,
sure.
parallel timeline Earth Nazis that flew into our
Well,
timeline.
I just want
colonize
to
it.
know, why is his nephew the guy who breaks the news that an alien from Venus has been living at the Pentagon?
Mm,
Oh, was
Why?
that Valiant Thor? Was Valiant
Yeah.
Thor from Venus?
Yes,
Okay.
that's Valiant Thor.
That's our good
man.
friend Valiant Thor. I wish he would come on the show.
Good band.
Valiant Thor. It does sound like a good band, yeah.
All right, let's
Thor
go
is a
into.
No, it is a band.
Let's
It
go
is.
into this
Oh,
video. I'm sharing my screen. If you guys could watch that. Let's go into some
All right.
video content here, dude. And
Yeah,
I got a
haven't
few things
seen
I want to
mine.
go
I've
over,
finished it. Yeah, I'm watching it.
and it's not
Valiant
this.
Thor actually had a song called Pangea. It's pretty good. You should look it up.
We're watching this video.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to our witnesses who are testifying today. I want to thank each of you for being here to discuss a topic of grave importance to our national security. Earlier this year, a Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the coast of my home state of South Carolina. Since the Roswell incident in 1947, many Americans have wondered about the dangers of unknown objects crisscrossing our skies. Whether these are UAPs or weather phenomena, advanced technology from American allied or enemy forces, or something more out of this world. So my first question, I have several questions, and if we can just be quick on these first two, I'm going to ask each of you the same question, and then I'll get to each of you individually. The first one, when you reported your experiences with a UAP.
So let's first notice, it's all warmongering. It's all saber rattling. It's all an excuse for a bigger defense budget. That's her role here. She's the one who needs money to fight China or whatever.
Did any face any repercussions with your superiors, yes or no?
No.
Now, keep an eye on our boy Jeremy Corbell here in the front row with the beard. This guy, watch the position he's holding, how he hold his hand. Watch.
No. I've actually never seen anything personally, believe it or not. So.
All right. And then do you believe there's an active disinformation campaign within our government to deny existence of UAPs, yes or no?
I don't have an answer to that.
As previously stated publicly, yes.
I think previously with like Project Blue Book, yes, but currently I don't speak for the United States government.
Okay, thank you. I have a few questions for Mr. Graves. What percentage of UAP sightings, in your belief, go unreported by our pilots?
This is an approximation based off of my personal experience speaking with a number of pilots, but I would estimate we're somewhere near 5% reporting, perhaps.
So like 95% basically don't report seeing UAPs.
That's just my personal estimate.
In the incident off Virginia Beach, do you believe the Navy took the danger to your aircraft seriously after it was reported?
Absolutely.
A few questions for Mr. Favor. As an expert naval aviator, have you ever seen an object that looked and moved like the Tic Tac UAP?
No.
Did the Tic Tac UAP move in such a way that defied the laws of physics?
The way we understand them, yes.
Many dismiss UAP reports as classified. Many dismiss UAP reports.
The way we understand them, yes.
Okay, so we got Jeremy Corbell here. Top right is the guy, greenish shirt. He's got the beard, holding his hands like that with that gold watch. He holds that position, his hands like that, for almost the entire conference. It's a 2-hour-long thing. And he holds it for almost the entire thing in a perfect fucking pentagon that I can't even like quite make happen if I try, dude. And it's like,
yeah, it hurts. I tried it for like 2 minutes and it hurt my thumb.
it's like perfect. I can't even, if I'm not like watching this, I couldn't even do it because it was so perfect, and mine don't look anything like that. Like, why is his so perfectly pentagonal? And he held it for 2 hours, dude, right to the camera. Right, he held the 5-pointed star essentially directly at the camera for the entirety of this 2-hour-long conference. It's weird. Maybe I'm just a schizo. Maybe I'm the only one. But he held that same position. And you can see the pentagon there. It's like a pretty perfect pentagon as far as just holding your fingers there in that position for 2 hours. Didn't do much better than that. It just freaks me out, dude. Why is he in the front row? Like, is another question. Why did he get a shout out in the opening statement?
Yeah.
Why did the main... This seems like the guy who's presenting himself as the main guy, the guy who put together the conference or whatever. He's saying that everything he knows he learned from Jeremy Corbell. Oh, so Netflix documentaries? Sweet.
Yeah.
And now here this guy is flashing a fucking pentagon for 2 hours straight. 2 hours straight. I think this is Masonic bullshit.
Many dismiss UAP reports as classified weapons testing by our own government, but in your experience as a pilot, does our government typically test advanced weapon systems right next to multi-million-dollar jets without informing our pilots?
No, we have test ranges for that.
It took over 15 years for your encounter with the Tic Tac to be declassified. Do you feel there was a good reason to prevent lawmakers from having access to this footage?
No, I just think it was ignored when it happened, and it just sat somewhere in a file. Never got reported.
In a drawer. It happens a lot up here. Shocker. Mr.
Oh,
Brush,
so funny. I'm so glad our government can joke about that.
What percentage of UAPs do you feel are adequately investigated by the U.S. government? Of the 5% that are reported.
Dude, look at this, like, satanic ritual abuse survivor behind her with, like, the black eye.
Yeah.
Like a panda.
To be honest, I don't know if I'm insane, but all of these people, like, all these random people in the back, like, they're all, like, freaks. They all look like freaks. They're, like, staring at somebody, like, without blinking, or they're, like, talking to themselves, or they got, like, black eyes. Like, AOC has a black eye in this fucking shit. What's going on here?
I did it.
Yeah, Maud gave her the black eye.
I can only speak for my personal leadership over at NGA. I tried
got
to
it on
look at
January
everything
6th.
that came through that I could triage. So,
Do you believe that officials at the highest levels of our national security apparatus have unlawfully withheld information from Congress and subverted our oversight authority?
there are certain elected leaders that had more information that I'm not sure what they've shared with certain Gang of Eight members or et cetera, but certainly I would not be surprised.
Okay. You've stated that the government is in possession
Pentagon
of potentially
man nodding.
non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Wow.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were
That's
they,
such a
I guess,
gay
human or
answer, like, it's
non-human
non-script,
biologics?
like-
Non-human,
Yeah, like
and that was the
biologics.
assessment of
Hold on,
it.
hold on. This is very
He
important.
basically said yes, though.
Hold on, let's roll this back. Let's just let this play
I said
for a
yes
second.
on television on the news,
like-
so I don't have to say yes in a congressional hearing,
hold up.
right?
Let's let this play first, because this game's stuck.
Logics.
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know what the hell a skiff is, but this dude's got non-human biologics, dude.
So the biologics term is really interesting to me because it seems like a non-answer. It seems like because it seems like if they're lying through their teeth, right? Or like if you were hypothetically outright lying, right? That's something that's already been proven that we found fucking otherworldly biologics here on Earth, like bacteria and shit. It's
that's
such
what
a,
I'm
like,
thinking. They could be
it's such a
bacteria.
catch-all. It's like anything
Could
that's
be,
natural.
could be a fucking moss or a fucking fungus. Or
Exactly.
something.
It could be fucking anything that's biological.
It could be a computer built out of leech brain cells.
I think okay. So people have been saying the same thing. It could mean anything. It could be a dog. It could be a space monkey. It could be a lot of things. But the fact is, the way they said this, so calculated, I feel like they have to be implying alien. But I also think what's more than that, honestly, as far as where the narrative goes, I think this is a primer for the next thing they say, which is they found human biologics on the
humanoid
the crash.
biologics.
No,
Or straight up humans.
Body parts. It will be the implication.
Okay.
As if these
Which
things have been
also on the-
abducting us.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Bill
our shit. Yeah. Okay.
Finding your body, dissected body parts on the crashed ship. I think the first thing they say is non-human biologics. So they're like, all right, we've got like body parts or whatever. But then the next thing they do is be like, oh, also this was human body parts. And then at that point, everyone's like, we need more defense budget to do something about this threat right now.
Yep.
Then you have a one world government.
Give the money to the aliens.
So I wonder,
to the aliens directly.
I know like the missing 411's been kind of shit on a lot, but I wonder if this accounts for some of the missing people inexplicably.
I don't know. I wouldn't even bother at this point. Now Ladies is all on the alien thing, so who knows? I'll have to catch up on that.
Well, he's a proven con man, but I'm
this
just
story
saying,
this story was the first
not
time
all
I
of
really
it.
saw it in detail was in Behold a Pale Horse, and Bill Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse, where he's saying that the government made a deal with the aliens that they could experiment on like this many people as long as they return them home safely or whatever.
That's the
Then
Eisenhower deal, right?
Yes. And then they found out that they were just like cutting people up and using their body parts and stuff all willy-nilly like, and realized that they had made a mistake in making a deal with them.
Can I mention one thing? I heard you say watch Corbell's hands. Also watch the fucking officer guy on the right's hands, the like biggest liar one.
Yeah.
The guy who's got like the autistic face, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Fravor? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He's not doing pentagrams. There's a lot of threes in what he does. It looks like he's throwing up crypt signs.
Yeah. Lots of sus hand gestures.
Yeah, lots of weird threes involved.
I was originally like watching this, and what did the guy keep saying? What the hell was that word, Kay? Dadgummit?
Oh, yeah.
Dadgum. Dadgum. It's
the guy
like,
who
it's
said
like
that
Mater
was
from Cars.
Every time this elected official said "dadgummit," my brain like got wiped, and I didn't
It's
know
true,
like what I was watching anymore. I was like, "Did that guy say dadgummit?" And that's all I could think. I couldn't even focus.
And he's got this word.
And Kay said,
smug face too.
Kay said this is like Illuminati hypnosis, and I didn't really buy it at the time. But then every time he said "dadgummit," it like erased my mind.
Yeah,
I had no idea what was going on.
I'm telling you. We watched that part of the hearing, and the whole structure of the conversation was a nested loop induction, and he even gave an embedded suggestion where he said, like, you're going to accept that all we're going to give you are questions, and you're going to think, and that's all you're going to get from us.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Dadgummit" again.
Dadgum.
I also find Miss Mace.
I instinctively like
find Miss Mace very distracting too.
She's
hot. Who? The
Miss
lady?
Mace, I find very distracting.
Oh,
She's a little
yeah.
hot. Lady on the
I know. I
screen
had to
now,
get her
yeah.
off. I didn't realize I had her up so long.
She's some kind of Epstein Island sex concubine.
Sex-
Sure.
she's probably
Did
that-
anyone
I think
else
she's
like?
fucking
She's
Epstein's Island.
she's flirting with everybody.
What up, Jack? What up?
Did anyone else instinctively not want to watch this fucking thing? Like, I
No,
didn't
I
want to
didn't
watch.
either.
Like, as the coverage was coming out, it sounded really interesting. I didn't want to watch like any of the shit. Like, I felt
I
like
only wanted to
something.
watch clips. It also
Dude,
had
like,
propaganda.
And now
Yeah,
you're
like-
saying it's got this fucking program
Yeah.
in it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, what
Something
are
dark
they
about
gonna
it.
tell us?
There is a lot of.
One at a
ahead.
time. Flame.
I was saying, like, what are they gonna tell us really that we don't really know?
Well, they're gonna tell
already?
you the fucking
Like,
same shit conspiracy theorists were saying 20 years ago.
It's true.
that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying.
There's some
I-
other shit like AOC's talking at one point, and like anytime AOC talks, there's a door behind her that has a pentagram in the middle of it, and you can only see that
Well,
pentagram
it's a
when that door's open.
5-pointed star. You're saying
I'm
it
sorry.
like it doesn't. I want to be fair about it. You know, it's not like there's a
It's
goat
like a
head in it.
nautical. It's like a nautical star.
But it's still a 5-pointed star. Yeah.
But it's every time the AOC's on the screen, that door opens so you could see that star.
With her fucking black eye covered up by makeup.
Her black eyes
Yeah.
all covered up by makeup because she just went through the ritual.
No,
Cheeks all blown out.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
it's
Pathetic.
I didn't get my shawarma on time. Something bad is
What's
gonna
the
happen.
ritual? Do you just
Listen,
fucking
they-
get punched in the
You
face?
don't want to know.
They,
You
they,
don't
they,
wanna know.
It's
they beat
Masonic.
you up. Yeah, they beat you up.
They bonk you in the head.
And they touch your dick.
It's also the kid stuff. Though.
Drag her under the wheelchair, dude. You drag her under the wheelchair.
Drag her under the wheelchair.
Retire
Gaddafi
up the monster
style.
wheelchair.
Well,
You
is there
got
any more of this
tank
shit
treads
we
on
had to
his
watch?
wheelchair.
Is that it? I think that's it.
I want
Who
to see
cares,
Miss
dude?
Luna.
So
When the Skinwalker gang holds execution, we tie him up to Maud's wheelchair, and Maud goes full steam.
that's true.
I just want to
Drags
see
him
more
down
of
the
Miss
road.
Luna.
Okay, so
Do you think
so
Miss Luna is Miss Luna hotter than AOC in your
at
opinion?
this
Hell
point,
yeah, hell
yes.
Yeah.
AOC
She
looks
was
Oh,
when she was
yeah.
a Maxim model,
think at all
definitely.
points.
I'm asking like right now.
dude, yes. And
Yeah,
I'll tell you why.
I'd say she looks better than she did when she was elected. I know
AOC
she looks young
looks
and all
like she
that,
did
but-
fucking 3 rounds with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, she's all beat up and fucking
Yeah.
Beat up.
sore.
Could she like usurp her then? That'd be cool.
Dude, this is Miss
No,
Mace.
nobody knows who Mrs. Luna is except
I'm
for
not-
from this. This is the
I'm-
only thing she's known from.
Dude,
AOC is
Dude,
president
there is some
2032.
lore of this.
so.
Dude, Google her shit. It's pretty. She was threatened like the man who ran against her in Congress. He threatened to murder her with a fucking Ukrainian and Russian hit squad, and
That's
then he
awesome.
fled to the
Whoa.
Philippines and
That's so
like
cool.
was
Imagine-
fucking extradited. For,
imagine
like,
needing
attempted
anything
murder.
more than a brick to take care of politicians, dude.
Bro, that is so fucking cool. Like that's a guy that you could tell like he went into it like I'm gonna fight the system. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna be an outsider, and then like as soon as he starts to lose, like I'm gonna fucking murder this bitch. I am not going to be
Tell
disrespected like this.
And get recorded saying I'm gonna fucking use my Ukrainian hit squad to kill her. Like awesome. Amazing. Only in America.
As a journalist, I always off myself with a shotgun blast to the chest
Oh.
from 10 feet away. I mean,
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
That's the only
so
way.
can I talk about Miss Mace here for a second? Look at this. Look at this,
Why?
because look at the stance, bro. Look at the stature, right? Do you think she's like a labor horse in the Illuminati, or is she like is she like a sex
Power
slave? Because she's
bottom.
kind of hot.
Power bottom, never
She's
mind.
kind of like you know how Tom Brady's ex-wife was like hot and like she kind of looked like a dude, but she's
She's
still
rich.
like a
I'm
model.
thinking like 14th degree, like cum dumpster.
Okay,
I'm thinking Maud's right. She's a power bottom, probably 14th degree cum dumpster.
so she only takes the lowest tier dick, is what you're saying.
The lowest.
Here's the lowest tier in the Illuminati. It's like Jerry Seinfeld.
Low to mid.
Jerry Seinfeld's like halfway up.
Probably like
dude.
What's the
Kimmel.
deal with the Illuminati?
Probably like comedians.
Yeah, like the
Kanye.
late night guys. the late night guys went, they went a little higher, but like, what the fuck? Oh my god!
Oh, it's broken again. Hang
God
in
damn
there,
it!
boy.
Yeah, like Colbert's probably like like 10th degree, somewhere around there, and that's around.
I
the
think
tier
he's
you
like a
might be
mother
getting.
goddess or something.
No, he's not
Mother
that. There's no
goddess.
way he's that high up.
The mother goddess of the
no-
Illuminati.
he's
It was
no
like so
way.
you couldn't see him in a dress.
Goes around.
I could definitely see him
Yeah,
in a
he just
dress.
goes
I just
around in
couldn't
a
see him being
dress.
worshipped for being in a dress. You know what I'm saying? I could see him being humiliated for being in a dress and him loving it. Those are way two different
He
things.
might
You know?
worship Miss May.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Deadly poison nerve gas smoke.
Hell yeah.
That was another hypnotic trigger where I totally lose track of what I'm doing.
Francis
Where
E.
the hell are
Deck.
we
When
here?
Francis E. Deck comes on, you're just like fucking lost.
All right, well,
Travis
so
Scott is a new single.
what comes
Francis E.
next
Deck
then?
is
What
the
comes next in the
Polish
narrative then? So I already said like I think they go from non-human biotics to human biotics, and that's like a scare tactic.
I disagree. I think they're going full on war. I think they're about to release something in the fucking sky, basically to show Russia what's up, but they're gonna tell us it's fucking aliens because they'd rather us think that than know it's them.
We're going
Why?
aliens
That- that-
okay. That's like
What's
kicking.
the point of doing that?
That's like kicking 5
What's the
hornets'
point of
nests
doing that?
at once.
Yeah, why don't you?
Isn't
Why
that
would
what
you
we
just,
do?
They just want us to know
No,
they're
not
powerful.
usually.
No.
That's too cool. Like we usually do the lamest thing possible.
Yeah, that's
and then like
that's
blow
a
up,
fair point.
blow up
Yeah.
a children's hospital or something at that point.
No, that's a really,
blame it
fair
on the
point.
aliens.
But like if like let's say we had something that like that right, we all agree, everybody here agrees that the US government has technology that is not known by everybody.
Yeah,
I think they're like 20
PS10.
years ahead of
Yeah, they've
everybody
got the PS. Remember the PS9 commercials when you were like a kid and it would come on at like 1 a.m. and it was like an orb. It'd fucking turn you into the game, and then you were like, I never watched that. That was a dream. That's what they've got. They've got the PS9. They're gonna project some
Are you
fucking
talking about
crazy shit into the
PlayStation
sky.
9?
They got
You don't
PS9, dude.
You don't remember the PS9 commercials?
Got a PS9.
No, dude.
Look up.
I
It was a
didn't
marketing campaign for the PS2. If you look up PS9 commercials, like it's something I saw at like late night and always thought it was a dream until I asked a buddy in high school and he's like, I remember that too. And then the internet
Holy
existed,
shit!
so we looked
You know
at
what?
that.
I just realized my fucking mom had that dream because
It wasn't a
I was looking
dream.
at
It's a
mine
real
one.
commercial. It was a marketing campaign. They made it seem
The
like a dream.
PS9.
They only put it on at fucking weird times at night, and they'd only show it like once a fucking season. And it was a PS2 commercial, is what it was. But that's irrelevant. But that's what they have. That's what the government has.
They have PS9.
They're gonna.
No, okay. I've been listening to old Bill Cooper
The
shows,
PlayStation
and
9.
he's his idea of what like Blue Beam faking an alien invasion would look like. They would use holograms. Like what he was talking about was the
The sky
holograms.
is a projector. The
Literally,
clouds are a projector.
he was talking about literally the holograms they used at that time in like 1994 or whenever this was to 1996, somewhere in that period. The same thing they used at Disneyland doing the light shows.
Yeah,
So if he could see how things have changed since then, I don't even know. I just wish Bill Cooper were around to say
that's
that.
the thing.
I don't
If
know.
it's an image in the sky, it doesn't have to be Tupac. You know what I mean? And that Tupac was almost 10 years ago at this point. That's what a lot of people forget. The Tupac hologram was fucking 10 years almost. So, but they don't need that shit if you're just projecting it into a 3D fucking screen, which is the clouds. If they're able to figure out like how to fucking morph light the right way, which we've known how to do for fucking at least 1,000 years at this point, and morph light, like, you know, like I don't know enough about.
Oh hell, the Greeks were
Lights.
doing that shit like.
I said
Maybe we just get another
Seems like a
spiral
lot,
over
but-
Norway.
That's too obvious
That's-
now. Everybody knows what Elon
but-
Musk's shit is, but there is that.
You make-
We'll look at that later, honestly.
You make a point that it's one, too cool, too obvious is really the thing. It's like it because like at this point I think they're catching on to the fact that when they pull shit, we know. You know what I mean? Like it's nobody cares anymore. It's like the crowd's not hot. You know, we got a dead crowd. Everybody's
You'll get a
fucking
pop
on
for
their
like
asses.
2 weeks, and then everybody's looking for the next thing.
Yeah, and the
I
pop's
think
so shallow, like the alien
Yeah,
shit. Like we're
dude.
talking about it, but we were also like, what the fuck is this? Like, yeah, there's aliens, but the fuck is this?
Right.
Who's lying?
I think
know,
you're
we
onto
have- we
something.
have
It's just
bigger
what you're talking
things
about.
to
It's a Marvel
worry
movie.
about besides fucking aliens right
Pretty
now,
much.
dude.
What?
It's
Vlad?
like I was saying, like we have bigger things to worry about besides aliens. Like
Bro,
at this
why-
point, it's like aliens are so like fucking.
Yeah,
That's-
fuck that Duke.
They're dead.
That's it.
That's the
put your
beauty
own
of
voice
it.
card in the call in the hood,
Yeah, yeah,
bro.
that's the beauty of it. We all know
It-
about it.
If
But I don't care about the motherfucking green men unless they give me access to their weaponry immediately.
Aussie, what up?
What about the
Aussie,
space
Aussie,
drones?
Aussie.
if you think about what the narrative that the US government has all this knowledge of extraterrestrial presence and technology, if you think about what that really does is it just makes you think there's a dimension to politics that's too complicated for you to understand, for you as the lowly goy in it to
Exopolitics.
stand and handle. So
Yeah.
that maybe it really is better off if you just leave it to them.
That's
I
definitely how it
think-
feels when you research these things. You'll have like 10 different groups you're trying to research. When the trails just go dry, there were half like the same fucking people going in and out of either group, and they were all kind of attributed to the same things. And it's like you don't know where to look.
But I think that's the most interesting part. It would be what would be the political ramifications if there were like aliens coming around, and if that was a discussion actually being held, I probably would pay attention to that.
It's all
Besides
part of it.
that, like nobody's really talking about that. And what he
This
said is that
entire
like they
hearing
don't
is
want to
that,
tell us.
though.
It's
What do you say,
always.
Mon?
Sorry.
This entire hearing is talking about the political implications of an alien.
I guess.
I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it.
They're just
It-
saying
it-
weaponized space,
it-
weaponized space.
Yeah,
which is,
Well,
that's only
why-
part of it.
That's why I think they're gonna weaponize space. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, yeah, they're gonna fucking blow up the
weaponize
atmosphere and blame it on
space.
aliens.
We're gonna have one
That's what
world
this seems
government.
like.
Hold on, Flame.
Well,
I was saying like that's something that's a given. The weaponization of a new terrain, a new like a new theater of battle that could take
Final
place. Like
frontier.
that's the final frontier. I mean that's predictable. I mean these don't need a conference to talk about that, dude. Like we know that's gonna happen eventually. It's gonna be commercialized too. We're gonna take
but
vacations eventually.
You need to get like the audience, the victim of your black magic satanic ritual. You gotta give them. You gotta eavesdrop it.
You have to let them agree to it.
Yeah, you
Let them
gotta
agree to it.
let them
You gotta
agree
get them
Well,
to
if they
consent.
don't agree to it, how can you absolve yourself of the karma through Masonic
Yeah,
ritual?
this is all about manipulation and gaslighting the entire population of the globe.
So yeah, we're gonna have one world government, weaponize space, and then fight
it's
the demon
all-
aliens in a personal
Is-
jihad of being on
And
God's
the
side. 'cause
whole
we're God.
thing
it's all
about
half
Senor's
truths.
take on the Russians, dude. That's their one excuse is saying that it might be the Russians or it might be the Chinese.
Or it might be the aliens. I think that's what
Or
they're
it
using
might
as
be
the
the aliens.
excuse, so that it's not them.
So the
Well-
conclusion, whether or not there is a threat, is we need an orbital safety net, and we need
Which only
zones-
happens through cooperation.
Yes, and
Yeah.
With
we
China and
need
Russia.
we need safe zones, which are going to be your
Africa.
mega cities. Your mega cities. I thank God Africa doesn't have mega cities yet. They're living the high life.
I'm pretty sure they got some pretty goddamn big cities over there. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
couple of cities that are impressively large.
Yeah,
but
there's like
that's-
Cairo if you want to count like technically it's in Africa, but yeah.
Y'all ever been to
Yeah.
Mombasa? I never been to Mombasa, but I hear it's
New
huge.
Mombasa.
yeah, but half
Everything's
them
huge, like
half
a
the
huge
buildings are
city,
fucking
yeah.
empty, bro. No,
Yeah,
no
but that's like
fucking
China
Nigerian-
too, and everyone's gonna admit
Yeah,
China.
yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
days.
But that's like fucking Detroit. You
Yeah,
know? like,
exactly.
Detroit, yeah, it's just like
that's where SummerSlam's happening tomorrow. Is Detroit, and I'm like, it seems like Vince is stuck in the past. Detroit's not a big city. Like it's a big city, but it's like a dystopian wasteland at this point. Why would you run an event there? Like, why would you go to Detroit? Well, like, I don't understand.
It's cheap.
it's cheap, yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
I've seen some house prices, and if I were able to fend off that much crime at the state I'm in now with a family, I'd go. But I nothing
The final
good comes from
frontier,
Michigan.
dude.
The final frontier is Michigan.
Detroit.
For real. It's worse than
Dude.
Chicago. Like, holy fuck, you know? Like,
Dude, what if we're being groomed right now
We are.
as
I'm
a
on
as
Discord.
a as a species, as a human species, we're being
That's
groomed
right.
right now to step on the stage, the space stage, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Well,
this
that's
is
literally
literally
Star
the plot
That's
of
literally Star
all
Trek.
these
And
movies.
The,
Yeah.
the
yeah, and
Vulcans are going to show up as soon as we make a one world government.
we are about to fight in a war against the
That's what they're going to
extraterrestrial
tell you. That's exactly
alien
what they're going to
race.
fucking tell
But
you so that they can make the one world government. That's the excuse.
What kind of aliens?
Let him
Are we gonna be
turns
fighting
out
the Palladians or the
it turns out the aliens that we're fighting aren't exactly who we think they are.
Who they
And we're
be?
being manipulated by our
The demons?
satanic, shadow, demonic government.
This has always been my issue with the
Marvel?
demons
It's not
thing.
far off. It's not far off.
Demons does not mean anything. It means almost nothing. It's very fucking difficult to get anything out of that. I think jinn is
Just
a
like
little
something
better
that
because
pisses
at
you
least you
off.
can go to fucking Arabic sources or whatever, and someone can explain it to you. You can't even really do that in Christianity.
Demons
But the
basically
thing,
is something.
but now we've already gone ahead and accepted that this is like multiple classes of things that aren't necessarily the same thing at all, except that we use a catch-all phrase for it. So what are they? Still nothing's explained.
Okay, so demons don't
something that
exist
just
in
works in a-
space if you're talking from a Christian perspective, because the ancient
Nah,
Christians believed
they're
that all
bound to
demons were
Earth.
sublunary, and yeah, they're bound to the Earth between the moon and in the inside of the Earth. So they can't really be demons from the Christian sense. They could be demons from another sense, but I mean that's just hogwash.
There's some sort of like was it like how Maud said there's some sort of like jinn, but like they're obviously taking a physical manifestation. That comes
All
to
I care
mind
about is
that
can I fuck them? Can I fuck the alien?
the stories of the Greys,
Nobody will
but
take you to
like
jail
not
for that.
actually being like normal biological, like they're born and stuff and they live a life cycle. They seem to be like
Self-replicating biological robots.
yes. So it's something that you could put a soul into and the soul
Yeah.
operate.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It can
So I
love
can
you.
put a soul gem in that fucker.
What up, Jack? What up?
Sorry.
Oh, Jack.
You guys know there's a Disney show right now going on called Secret Invasion that's about scrolls, which are reptilian aliens.
The Marvel shit,
And
that's
it
literally what that fucking plane lady was. It was a marketing fucking stunt.
It perfectly lined up with this. Like perfectly. Like it came out like the week this shit happened. There's reptilian aliens fighting against fucking Samuel L. Jackson as Colonel Nick Fury and everything. And it's a sequel to Captain Marvel, which had a plot that's exactly what Flame just described of that basically Captain Marvel is fighting against these reptilians called the Skrulls, and then she finds out that the Kree, the good aliens, are actually the bad aliens, and the reptilians were like the victims the whole time. And now we're seeing a sequel to that, where the reptilians are like trying to cause this proxy war between Russia and America in the Secret Invasion show. As this shit is like, I don't know. I just
Are there grays in it? Are there grays in this?
No.
Well,
The Kree would be
They're
great.
weird half
Hold
reptilians.
the
You're telling
fuck
me that
on.
this whole thing is a Disney fucking marketing campaign?
We're in a Disney movie.
Russia,
We're seriously. We're in the movie Mars Attacks. We're in the movie Mars Attacks right now. That's what we're in.
You're telling me Disney funded all this shit?
The take on the Greys though is that the Greys are like automatons for the reptilians.
Yes.
But most of the stories about the reptilians say the reptilians
They
are
live
like
here.
Are here.
Yeah, they're
not all the
underground.
stories. Some of them say they're aliens, but a lot of them say they're here. And
Well,
most of them
they're
probably.
aliens, but they're here. Is what I always got from it. Like they're not from here, but they came here, and they live here. They're
just
here.
racist.
Like yeah. Well,
Yeah,
like
that's
well, I
just
mean, we're in like 300 countries. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Like they're stationed on Earth. They got a base
There's
here. It's underground.
reptilians from all kinds of planets. They're not all the same.
Sure, but they're all from one fucking civilization. You don't have to be from one planet to be fucking.
That is totally wrong and racist.
Yes, I mean, they all have their own culture. Like,
One at a time.
I heard the aliens were expelled from 197 countries.
We can't talk about that subject.
What happened to the other two?
The other
We were
Well,
let back
it
in.
all makes a lot more sense if you don't think space exists, but that's a whole.
Right.
Well, what about the flat Earth?
Tell
Where
us
does
about
flat Earth,
space.
fit in all this?
Tell us
Jack,
about
Yakov,
space
just
not
explain
existing.
space to
Hold
the
up,
people.
hold up. One at a time. I'll see what's up.
Yakov, what's your take on the flat Earth? Does this fit in all this? Where does the flat Earth fit?
I don't believe in flat Earth. I believe in fat Earth, dog. Fat ass.
Fat
Earth.
ass
The flat
donk
Earth,
donk Earth.
Yeah.
the Bazonga Earth
Hell
theory.
yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
it's
on
just
the
shaped like an
floor
ass.
in a-
That's the real secret. It's shaped like
Flame,
an ass. It's
Flame
because
is
you on
on
the
10
floor in
hits
like
of
a walking
Earth is
LSD.
shaped
wardrobe,
like an
dude?
ass.
He's on 10 hits of LSD,
Flame,
lost in the fucking laundromat,
Flame, you took the
crawling
fucking
around on
script,
the
brother?
floor.
What are you doing?
What's going?
Yeah, where are you, Flame? Where are you
I-
filming from?
For once, is not
I'm
inside of a
stuck in a
I'm
closet.
in my
subway
room. I'm in my my studio closet.
You cleared it
Why
out?
aren't you just in the studio?
Huh?
Why do you have to be in the closet?
It's
To
a
get away from the
closet.
wife and kids, bro. That's why I'm in the garage.
Yeah.
Fair.
You look like
The
you look
children
like
are
you spaced
running
up, bro.
around being annoying.
You don't
So I
have
had
books
to-
behind you. You look like you got a chair and everything. What's going on?
He does not. He's like
Upgraded?
laying on the floor on all fours.
No.
Laying on the
Shit.
floor.
Yeah, I have my phone on the floor. I'm like looking down on it.
Why
like-
are you doing push-ups over the phone? What are
Yeah.
you doing, brother? You okay over there, bro? Are you really?
Can we
He's
see the
good.
next senator? I want to see what
See the next senator. Where's the Crip senator?
Where's
the
Where's
Crip
Mrs.
senator?
Luna? I gotta see her.
I want to hear
not
about
gonna.
space not being real from Jack, but that's just me.
Oh, well, just I mean, I don't. I'm not a flat earther in the typical sense where I'm gonna like make a case for it. Like, oh, well, you can't see the whatever fucking bullshit. I just think that there's no like whatever is going on in terms of physics and in terms of like the way that things really work, the way that the solar system, if there is a solar system, any of that sort of shit. It's like all of that has to be thrown into question. We have to be radically skeptical. Like, it's not just, we can't just be skeptical about like aliens existing. It's like we're being lied to from birth about like practically everything. And so the very idea of space, it's like it's just this kind of weird fantasy realm that is like a little bit explored, and there's all this shit going on in like comic books or whatever. But basically when it comes down to it, space is whatever they're telling you it is, and the things that exist there are whatever we're telling you exist there, and you have to believe it or else you're like a bad person. Like a lot of other things, like any, I don't know.
In Interstellar, in this new movie or newish movie, it's recent movie.
Matthew McConaughey.
Fucking he. It's
I
like
might be the
it's
same age.
somewhat post-apocalyptic, or everything's going to settle down. I don't care about this fucking actor. This Earth is falling apart, and this dude's kid is getting like kicked out of school, and she got into a fight because her friends said no one went to the moon because it's so far into the future that people are like supposed to be forgetting like the great achievements of man, and like that's his biggest gripe about society is they forgot I went to the goddamn moon.
No, they straight up
I
said
was
that
there!
or that it was American disinformation. Like they straight up said
They
that it was a
said
disinformation
disinformation.
campaign.
Yeah, absolutely.
As
But
the rest,
now-
Here's my thing. Like when it comes to like the planets, like far out, like seeing them up close, you're not going to be able to do that, right? But you, as a regular human being, like amateurs launch shit into space all the time.
Right.
There are amateur satellites out there. There are amateur fucking space cameras that.
What
have
makes
existed.
all of
So,
this
like,
so fucking muddy is that you can't trust anything NASA has ever said or done.
right? NASA's one thing, I get you, but like there's like community. I'm big on open source shit. There are communities of people who have sent. You can make a fucking satellite out of a Raspberry Pi and send it up with a weather balloon.
Right.
And like
there's people on YouTube. There's like a community of like telescope people who look at the stars and the moon, and there's a contingent of them that think that what they're looking at is not what they're being told.
Being
they're
fed,
looking
yeah.
at, like the stars and all.
And they'll contribute their own
the
data.
sun, the moon is not a
Quantum physics,
the Earth
like,
necessarily.
Almost like every image they've ever shown us was doctored.
Well, it's not
No?
it's doctored in the sense that they're scanning it with a light. They're not hitting it with a camera. They're scanning it like the new ones, the James Webb Telescope. That's the new one that you've been.
But they're
seeing
adding all the
pictures on.
color and everything.
They're adding all the color. It's an infrared image, and it's not like new cool fucking night vision. You know, night vision used to be green, and now it's fucking grayscale. It's not like it doesn't come back to him like that at all. It comes back to him in this weird fucking infrared shit that the naked eye can't even see. So as soon as it's being brought in, it's data. It's not real. It's data. It's not an optical image. It's fucking digits. So it's not real to begin with. And then they're interpolating, and there's if you want to go by the human law,
they're literally airbrushing these images though. There's pretty good evidence that they'll just airbrush stuff.
They're like AI airbrushing it, but yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for way longer than they've been using AI for it.
Well, no shit, like the old fucking what was the big one that used to the old telescope, the fucking Hubble telescope. That shit, that shit was like so like the infrared images of some of these fucking pictures, like some of them look like almost exactly the same because they got to keep kayfabe. But like the newer pictures, like the pillars, it looks almost like a completely different system. You know what I mean? Like the first one was
you had
bullshit.
something you were going to say there, right?
I was going to say that once you start observing something, it changes. So, like, basically, this goes back to what I was saying about the sea, the underground, the distant past, history. Space is another one of these things. They're all the darkness. This is just the darkness. We're projecting into the darkness. Light, stars. I mean, the stars exist, I think, but I don't necessarily think they exist in the same dimension. That Earth
as a resident of the moon who went to bleed the mercury out of my reptilian just a moment ago, I missed the whole thing where space isn't real. So I got to tell you, when I'm on the moon, I got to tell you that we're hiding things up here from you. We've been hiding things up here for over 100 years. There's a great
I
book
think
about it
though,
called Penetration
when you're
by
talking
Ingo
about
Swann,
things, when you're talking about things that are much further away, when time is that great of a factor, I think why wouldn't our intentions on those things have some like effect on how
it's
it
the
is
other
in
way
reality?
around. All the ancients believed it was the other way around. The celestial sphere affects human beings more than human beings affect the celestial sphere. But yeah, what were you saying, Aussie?
I was just going to say that I've always been a bit. I'm not a space skeptic, broadly speaking. I think it's going to be something similar to what they're saying with planets orbiting stars and whatnot. But when they say things about, we calculated the exact distance of these stars between these stars by looking at the light, and we like know the age of all these stars, and we know the universe was created by an explosion, and there's like this galaxy this distance away. That's when I start to go, man, like this sounds like something that like if you made like one small minor mistake in calculation, you fucking
all the numbers
throw
are
that
wrong.
entire that entire model out the window. But of course, I'm not an astrophysicist, so I don't know.
If the numbers are wrong, then the numbers are wrong, and the calculations are off.
It's a simple question, and nobody can say that they're sure about all of these things. And on almost every level, you will have some level of debate, whether it's like fringe stuff or it's like just mainstream debates on the basic fundamentals of it. It's almost like, how can any of it be right? Like, how much out of fucking 10 is right here? You know what I mean? Like, what percentage?
8%.
But when it comes
8%,
to
that sounds right.
NASA's lying up, and I don't mean to be like I'm interested in different perspectives. Certainly not trying to shit on anyone's ideas, but for me personally, when it comes to NASA's lying like the Earth isn't round, it doesn't orbit the sun. It just, to me, the conspiracy theories that I do find myself going, okay, that one's probably true. Have so like an internal logic. They have like a motive behind why they're doing it, and I can see who's benefiting from it exactly.
I
Whenever
think
you come to, space is fake, there's no fucking moon, it turns into this, when you ask a person why they believe that, it turns into this like, then you don't know your real perspective in the universe, and you don't.
Yeah.
I think there's a few things going on here. One thing that's most important, I think, is the claim that NASA was always there to get funding for black projects.
Yes.
I think that's the most like fundamental and easy to grasp, but I think there's more potential ones. Jack.
Well, it's Jack Parsons starting. I mean, fucking Crowley bullshit. You did a whole stream talking about that. I mean, it's kind of NASA's just kind of a big spell that's been cast on us overall. But I guess, yeah, the whole question of like why would they lie about space? It's more like the whole, like, I don't know, just shaping an entire paradigm for us that is to be the accepted paradigm that everybody is supposed to believe, and then things like this that they can now do, where it's like, oh, there's these fucking things out there that are coming for us, and they're gonna kill you, and you have to do what we say because they're coming for you.
I
don't think that
absolutely do
fully
think space is
They're
real.
not really doing that. They're not really doing that. They're being very vague. If they wanted to, they could be like, you're about to get blown up tomorrow. You've got to submit.
That's
the
not how they
nukes
work
are
with
here.
anything.
The nukes are fucking
Space,
on their
space
way.
is real. Earth is fake.
Well,
It's much more subtle than that.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
that's a good take.
I think once you start exploring space, I think you are going to encounter fundamental elements of reality that you can't just make public right away. I don't know what they are. They could be on a number of levels. Like, a lot of people say that there's alien bases on the moon and that. I don't know. There's no way to substantiate
There
any
are.
of this stuff.
8
The
minutes,
remote
bro.
viewer knows it's true, but
yeah.
I think there are almost infinite things that they could want to keep hidden from us. Whether it could just be things that to us day to day are totally mundane, but to them, like, change the landscape of quantum physics or something like. I think there's anything. I think, like, I do think half it's just propaganda. I think they want to show us like cool pictures of the moon and shit. They don't want to actually show
We've
us
got
these
cool
things.
shit.
But like, we love cool pictures of the moon, so why not monetize it when you airbrush? Colorful and pretty. No.
Yes,
There's a lot of
space is real. Earth is fake. The whole reason why they tell you it's the opposite is because they want to put you in a weird Gnostic mindset where they could tell you anything, and then everything boils down to, oh man, it's just life is a video game. It's virtual reality. The sky, that's just a virtual reality projection. You don't exist. You can upload your
I
mind
have
into a
noticed
computer,
that.
kill yourself.
Yeah. I agree with that take. Angus. I have noticed that there's this push for, and it's very prominent in these circles of like conspiracy and paranormal, is that the discourse just turns into, oh well, like nothing's actually real, and you can make things with your mind, and it's just like the Matrix. And I feel like that's a really good direction to get people going if you want them to be ineffective at resisting it. That's getting them fucking at the end of the day.
I think real and fake are kind of the same thing in a certain type of, like, I mean, reality is being affected by fiction. It's being invaded by fiction, and then we in reality make fictions that then sort of invade our reality, and there's a kind of symbiotic relationship between mythology and the real, and all of our religions are also kind of these myths that we make up, but
Yeah.
they're also, there's real energy, there's real power that is at the,
I
at
get
sort of,
the effort to push, like, you are the main character, now go out and change the world or whatever. Like, that's very useful on a very primal level. But I think the issue is we have like talking heads and grifters and just scumbags who are utilizing that now. And these are people who are paid by the feds in order to make people less effective. Specifically, like, that's what they do. All of the highest tier people and all the dissident movements with their stupid talk shows and everything, these are people who are allowed to be in the positions they're in. If somebody wanted them gone, they would get rid of them. If they were a real threat, somebody would get rid of them. But it's the fact that they're a great honeypot. Just keep them around. These guys they discredit themselves every goddamn day. Let them keep doing it. Meanwhile, we'll pick off the idiots.
Kill Mulder in the X-Files. They never, Mulder's always like almost about to die. But it's like, oh, well, actually, you're useful. Actually, he's the cigarette smoking man's son, and he's trying to like guide him to make him like, he fits into the plan in this like perfect way where actually he's this kind of savior for the Illuminati. And I think everybody should watch the X-Files to try to, because that is a psyop made for this specific, like, that's a key part of this whole fucking predictive program we're in right now.
Now here's the question: Would you rather fuck Scully with a dick or Pussy Mulder?
Pussy Mulder.
Don't ask
Look,
me that
dude.
question.
Pussy
What are you doing, Pussy Mulder? I'm gonna close my eyes. It's fine.
Let's see what the next reptilian has to say. I want to see what our overlords have to say.
You wanna keep watching this stupid fucking conference?
Yeah.
I thought we were
It was stupid. But, like,
There's 40 more seconds of it. Let's sit through it and see if it's worth it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but
She got
who in the
fucked by Matt
government,
Gaetz.
either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private
Name
setting?
'em.
And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call
This
in to
answer's
get
great.
these
I can't talk about
questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness
Pentagon.
list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super, thank you. And I
He's happy.
He's got a whole fucking list. He's like, I can give you very
got a whole
specific
list.
He's gonna
cooperative
dox
and
him.
hostile witnesses as soon as this is over. And they immediately end it. They're like, oh yeah, let's get that fucking list. Look at her
Dude, who
face.
do you think the most
Get the
hostile
list.
witness is? It's probably like Lord Commander Krill from like Alpha Draconis. That dude hates
Don't
humans.
forget about the guy from Venus.
He
What's
was
his name again?
so
Yeah.
Valiant
cooperative.
Thor.
Valiant
That's-
Thor.
Yeah, Valiant Thor.
Valiant
He's
Thor.
like that
Alright,
boy.
Let's
To come on the
let's
stream
watch
with
some
us.
UFO sightings. Oops.
That is just
do that.
so. That's the most defining moment I think of that whole hearing was how at the very end of it, this guy's like, "I have a name of people that I will give up to you as soon as this cameras are off." That's not real. There's nothing real about that. That is such a fucking.
Hold
work.
on to
That
your
is
butts,
so,
boys. We got UFOs.
That is so fun.
That is.
Oh shit! That thing going.
It's like what me and my dad saw. That's like the first
Wow.
time.
Is it no?
Oh,
What?
it's separated.
Yeah,
What?
the chain of it
It's
like
just
that.
split. It's split into 4 smaller comets.
Kind of wonder if it's like drones that are like putting up like advanced fucking.
Is this
drones.
the West Bank? Is this Palestine? No.
I have no idea where any of this
Looks
crap
kinda like
is.
There'd be a
Palestine.
lot more.
Ohio.
There'd
What do
be
we
a
say?
lot more of 'em.
Is this a UFO or is this like a?
No.
The hell is it?
It does look like what I saw.
This is like a
does-
drone.
It moves at a very straight line. I'd almost think that's something to like a fucking space rock. I'd be like
Oh,
some
it's the next.
form
It
of
skips.
looks
We've
like a
got we're on to
fucking
the next one.
meteorite.
Hold
yeah,
on.
Yeah,
like a
fuck.
meteor or something.
We're going with
Same
meteorite
thing,
on
looks
this
like
one.
meteorite.
Because it's just going straight.
Yeah,
there's,
it's
no,
a
there's no
meteorite.
weirdness to its
It might be a
fucking
meteorite,
trajectory.
yeah.
No, it's not doing anything weird. It splits right there. It fucking
That
goes
looks like
through
a,
there.
but that part looks like a saucer spinning, so I can see why.
I saw a
Right
meteorite
there where
fall
the
into the
glare
earth one
was?
time. Looks
Yeah,
weird.
no, those motherfuckers split. So like, I don't. It's just too straight.
Yeah,
That-
if it was more gay,
Iron
it'd definitely
meteorite.
be
Yeah, if it was a little gayer, I might take it as credible. But it's too straight in this.
Anyone
environment.
else? What else we got? Anybody?
So to
It
hop
could
on
be a
the
comet.
meteorite
It could be
thing,
drones. The perspective
in-
is like kind of fucked up to tell.
Maybe it's
in
just a broken
Islamic
satellite.
theology, we're
Could be that too,
not
could be
Hold
allowed-
up, it's
space
Mod.
travel.
Hold
Mod
up,
is
Mod's gotta
speaking
take.
now.
Okay, so to hop on the meteor train in Islamic theology, we're not allowed to watch meteor showers because it's divine punishment shielding the earth from jinn.
Shit, yeah.
They're punishing the
we-
jinn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
good.
specifically nature being influenced by different cosmic forces shielding the earth from people that want to do mischief, things that want
I
to
got some mischief.
make our lives a lot harder. So we're not
Out
there's
of the woods
also
yet.
stuff like we're not allowed to look at a solar eclipse, right?
Well, you're not supposed to
We're-
look straight at them.
Yeah, you got to use that. Little
No, we're
cardboard.
not supposed to even
Think
look
about
in the
it.
general direction of an eclipse when it arrives. In fact, we're supposed to do like a special prayer that takes around an hour. The entire duration of the
Everybody
solar
knows
eclipse.
that you use your mantras during the eclipse because they're more effective then.
Right. Basically, it's the same perennial concept.
Gentlemen, I have to get going.
All right,
All right,
I
bro.
have to go now.
Sucks
guys.
to live
It's been
14
fun.
hours in the future, dude.
Yeah, that's why I said have a good day.
Hey, man.
Hey, mate.
Will do.
I'll hit you up for
Thanks,
next time.
guys.
We'll
Hope
have
to
a
do it again
tighter
soon.
crew, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Nothing wrong with the crew. I'll see you next time, Yakov. See you, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right.
So I
that's
see
good.
kind of what you mean about the saucer at the
Yeah.
end. It kind of looks like that, and almost in the beginning too. But it's just a saucer wouldn't move like that.
Yeah.
It's not going to come down at a fucking
I'm with you.
45 degree
whatever angle.
yeah.
But I did have a separate take that I'm not actually like going behind, but one could make this argument that like a low tech or even our own shit that
Down
like nobody
satellite.
just announced a down satellite even. Yeah, that could make sense. Like something that's like not, it's just coming back into the fucking like when our boys come back down, they're just flying into the ocean. You know what I mean? So you might see something like that if it I don't see why they would do that at night. You
Well,
know
let's
what I
hit the
mean?
next
But like,
Right.
What the hell?
whoa. I feel like that's a filter on a fucking on a meteor shower or some shit.
No,
Like that's
That's
wait,
a
dude,
hologram.
that's the fleet coming.
Fleet
that's the
coming,
Covenant.
That's the invasion force.
That's the
Covenant.
Covenant. It is
bro.
moving weird.
It is.
It is moving.
You would expect if it's like a meteor shower, it'd be like more.
Yeah.
random.
Cover the entire sky if it was a meteor shower.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be
I've never even seen any of this shit.
You ever seen a meteor shower?
No, I've seen like shooting stars and stuff. I probably have, but nothing like.
You probably
that
saw the
substantial.
shooting stars during a meteor shower, and well, you live in where you live, so like you
Yeah,
should be able to.
I don't
That's
know.
like
see
an
it.
entire fucking war fleet.
What was this?
I don't know, dude. You got to make it up. Make something up.
Jacob Rooster Lore. Let's dox that guy. And
Dox
we'll
that
figure it
guy.
out.
Go on TikTok and tell him fucking where you live.
Tell him his address. Yeah, tell him go on TikTok and send him his address.
But so this is definitely aliens, right? Or angels or something. What?
Maybe angels.
No,
Could be angels.
this is aliens. Angels
I was
don't.
thinking it looked like cluster bombs or something.
This is in Ukraine.
This is in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
In the Abrahamic tradition, angels don't go around fucking with the atmosphere.
Spooky music.
Yeah, they should.
Oh, there's that music.
The angels are green.
Because
Shit, I
they're
forgot Matt was
robots.
here.
And they
Why
do
are they
their-
like burning
am.
out? Is that like a street sign or something?
Not,
This is
because he
either-
doesn't. He desperately does not want to be doxxed, so we're gonna have to dox this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, hey,
it's a street sign. He's blurring
Get him on
out.
the
Yeah.
show.
yeah, let's get Jacob Rooster on and ask him what he saw.
Let's, water
I will
boy.
never talk to Jacob
He's a-
Rooster.
He's a lawyer.
I would never
He's a
talk
lower.
to Jacob Rooster. What if he's
Oh,
like
yo.
a chicken raiser?
What the
Oh,
fuck
this
is that?
Yo.
recently. Yeah.
It's another fucking
Whoa.
fleet. Holy shit.
That's a
Now-
hologram.
This I think might be
think
a
it's a real
TR3B. This might be a
Yeah.
TR3B. The government craft with
looks
the
like it.
three
Yeah,
it's
it
got,
does
like,
look like what I saw.
lights
but mine
on
was
each
white.
corner of the triangle. It's got like a circular thing in the
Why would
middle.
it
That's
be
exactly
so
what I saw,
low?
but it was white. Holy shit, that is.
Yeah,
Why
you
would it
saw
be so-
TRB3.
Why would it
Yeah,
just
but it
be
had white
hanging
lights
out?
instead of red.
I
Like right above the
Great.
fucking.
I
Who
don't
knows
think
these
they
sites?
care anymore. I think you're supposed to
Yeah.
see these things now. You just assume they're aliens.
Yeah, I took a picture of it if you want me to fucking find it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fine.
hang on, I'll go
Please,
find it.
please
seems like
find that
government
picture. Put it in
This,
Bar and Grill.
this is from the Two Suns, dog. When Two Suns
What
was
is
in the
that?
sky. Now people said that like China launched a fake sun. Other people said it was Nibiru.
When did this happen? What are you talking about? have
I
no idea
don't
what you're
know,
talking about.
dude. It was on TikTok. You gotta get with the program, bro. Try to keep up.
Only
I'll say Big Sun.
the Two Suns were only on TikTok. It was on no other
Yes.
platform.
It's
Nobody
artificial light
else. It's
source,
only people on TikTok
pattern of
saw it.
conduct.
You sure
There's
this
two
wasn't like
things that you could talk
Tatooine?
about. There's two things you could talk about there.
Yeah,
Artificial light source,
Tatooine,
pattern of conduct demons. We
Yeah,
all
it's,
know it,
that's why her channel got deleted right before this happened.
right?
It's a new Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, this is just more Disney marketing, bro.
It's
Like,
more soy
Yeah,
wars.
this is more
Star Wars
Disney.
marketing.
So sick of the Disney marketing. They're fucking having schizos, like hot schizos on the plane, yelling at fake motherfuckers.
So
They're
I've been
having-
ignoring chat a lot. Kel says it's a meteorite. I've seen hundreds like that out in Australian desert. The best, most persistent ones are space junk. So talking about, I guess, the first video.
Yeah, that's what I was
Shout
going to
out
say. It could be space
Australia.
crash, Yeah.
Savage brought some Aussies in. That's cool. Those guys are basically my kinfolk because Florida's like the Australia of America.
Based.
I don't know what Texas is of America.
Oh shit, he's not happy about that. He was in his suit and everything. What is that? He just came home from church.
White people be out there fucking like flossing and TikTok to the fake sun. Black people be like, oh shit, no, it's going down.
Dude, I want you know, the black people know what's up. They're going to shoot the
Yeah, it's like, yeah. You can't be mad about that because, like, if I saw that shit going up into the sky, I would take my family inside and just start praying.
No, yeah,
I'm
that's
not a
the
praying
proper.
man.
That's the proper reaction, actually.
I'm
is
not
to
a
be
praying
this
man.
shit going
Just
down,
start
dog.
praying
I'm going the
immediately.
other way.
Yeah, I would just start praying and take my family into my home, which I know is blessed, and fucking start praying. That's it. Like, that's all I can do at that point. Fuck that thing. That thing disappeared, too. That thing's gone.
Yep.
Just like other Chinese shit. At
Where
Kroger,
was
like-
this? Where was
A
this?
lot of
That's
people saw this, and I saw
But
a video
where? Like,
that was supposedly the launching
did
of it in
you see
China
it?
on TikTok,
So, like,
dude.
So, like, where were these people on TikTok? This guy
They
seems
were
like
on
he's in America.
www.tiktok.com.
WWE Network.
WWE.
Majesty.
You just see like a fucking.
No location given, senor. It's TikTok. It's
I could have
no
found
location.
locations. I didn't bother. It's more fun that way.
Yeah.
This actually happened in Antarctica.
Yeah.
This is
This is
a
under the permafrost.
Right over.
Whoa. What is that?
Oh. I feel like that's a light show at a stadium in the clouds. Because I've seen shit like that happen before while I was tripping balls. And somebody had to
Yeah.
remind me about reality. Because we were literally going to that show. And I was like, why is the sky doing this?
Now,
What
that's
that
weird.
one?
That could be.
Let's see more.
That is a government craft.
Yeah, that is
Are they the
that's
TR3Bs?
That's a TR3B.
I don't know.
They're
what
triangular.
Those
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Yeah.
I didn't see a triangular shape, like kind of there, but there's a lot of glare there.
But this is weird. I can't even.
No, these are craft.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are drones coming out of a larger craft.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Fake and gay.
Well, they're
everything's
real, but
fake
they're
and
still
gay,
gay.
That's a TR3B.
Earth
It's a
is
government-
fake, space
it's a
is real.
government
We
code
already know
UFO.
this.
Yeah, Earth.
So
fake,
this is
space
Oregon.
real.
We got that one. This is Oregon.
Dreamscape real. Fucking fears fake.
Now, while I was seeing all of these videos, and like during that time, there were like 2 days where we had like, it was like a thunderstorm, but there was no rain. There were really heavy winds, and there was just lightning flashing in the clouds the whole time with no thunder. And I don't know. I thought it was happening, dude. It should have happened.
Well, there are.
Should have been me.
Stuff like, oh, that's
Lots of things should have happened.
But
I don't know, dude. Just a question of what comes next with all of this. And they're going to tell you all sorts of scary things.
Oh, it
but-
says where it is at the top on this one. It's Oregon.
Said it.
I didn't.
Damn.
You were too damn.
I really,
Duh.
I really think Jack's onto something with the shit he was saying before, just not exactly what he was saying.
Fucking Senor.
Yeah,
Senor has no damn idea what he's talking about. He's just rambling.
It's true.
Yeah, Senor. Yeah, I think they're not gonna fucking start a war or whatever, but they'll probably do some sort of weird event where like basically like a comic book. Like this is like issue 1. Like issue 2 will be like the aliens are in fucking Antarctica. We got to send people. Some shit like that. Like it's not necessarily gonna be
Aliens are in my ass.
like the
They're in
the
James
weather
Earl's
balloon
ass.
started it, you know, and then it was like
Any
there's a
such
bunch of
cases.
weather balloons. Now there's a fucking Senate hearing.
Deadly poison nerve gas
My
smoke.
my
It's
take
true.
is my take is they're going to have
Deadly poison gas.
Hold on. Let Mod speak.
They're going to have these fake aliens land in the middle of Ukraine, and the aliens are going to orchestrate a peace deal, and we're all gonna form a united one world government.
What kind of aliens are you thinking, Mod? Are you thinking like Nordic, like humanoid aliens? Or are you thinking like
I'm not thinking at all.
what about insectoids?
The key here is to not think.
Palladians.
Yeah.
Just don't think, just do.
What if the insectoids are the ones that bring about world peace and one more government?
Base.
Well, they're not about world peace. They're about eating people.
Wait, what do you know about insectoids, dude? I'll tell you a thing or two about.
Have you not ever played Stellaris?
Dog.
No, I am not.
Look, the fact is, mantis aliens are perhaps the most mysterious and unsettling of all extraterrestrial creatures.
Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
you don't even know. In mythology, these beings appear in Native American and African folklores, dude.
Did you already talk about? Did you talk about this while I was putting my son to bed?
No,
or-
I just started talking about it now.
Oh, that's
Dude,
awesome! I
because
segued you for it. That's awesome.
Some believe these extraterrestrials come from the Draco system, working hand in hand with the reptilians.
With the reptilians, yeah.
They're all working with the reptilians.
Even though you'd think they'd be food for them, it would like from our perspective, it would make sense for there.
Well,
to
you
be
can
a
do
war
both.
between them.
Because like
they're both like inherently shady.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're inherently shady, and they're both hyper predatory, very intelligent, scientific alien guys.
Well, I mean, lizards aren't that intelligent. And
All I want to know is what color is.
But they
I'm
got
thinking
that
about it
lizard
from
brain.
my
Neil deGrasse
perspective.
Mantis
What if
over
there's a
here,
race
dude.
of chicken people?
There's no
what
chicken.
color
We made
But do
chickens.
the reptilians have cloacas?
Hey,
Yeah,
dude,
what color
I'm
is
just
the
confused.
mantis cloaca, man?
I can't control my horny level.
Didn't Bill Cooper Didn't Bill Cooper's whole psyop like circle around insectoids landing in a fucking in Roswell and everything?
That is the implication.
Those were
It gets a little
insectoids,
weird.
not grays.
It gets
Why
a
did
little
we have
no.
pictures of grays?
It gets
They
a
were
little
insectoid.
weird because he also says that a live alien was taken from that crash. EB was its name. An acronym for extraterrestrial.
Being?
The hell is it?
Extraterrestrial biological entity.
Extraterrestrial biological entity is what EB stands for. Now they went on to say that as EB would get sick, and the only thing that could heal it, the only person who could do it was the botanist, because it had like a chlorophyll based system, and was much like a plant. So I don't really know where to go with that. Honest, I've heard other stories of plant-like aliens. There's like the Veggie Man of West Virginia, where like there's like a Veggie Man who was like making skinwalker noises out in the woods, and a hunter walked up on him and he like attacked him with his fucking like thorny hands.
Cauliflower fingers.
Yeah, salad fingers.
Salad.
Yeah. So I don't really know. It could be insectoid.
Where does the
it could
Loveland
be...
Frogman fit into this?
Doesn't. He's an
Is he a
incel.
reptilian?
Yeah, he's just an incel, bro. It's just
You
Elliot
made a-
Roger.
An earlier stream you did, we were talking about psychic TV and what's her name? What's his name? The trans psychic TV singer who went into a temple of Kali in India and saw these insectoid beings, and they were like the first person allowed in that temple. I don't know. The insectoids,
I have like
I think,
no
are like
goddamn recollection of any of this. but
Genesis
it sounds
Theorage
awesome.
is a freak. Don't
Genesis
listen to anything
Theorage.
that person says. Don't listen
Yeah.
to that person.
Sure, no, of course not. Like, I mean, of course not. But it's just interesting that the insectoids are kind of the most. I mean, I guess the Nordic Aryan aliens are kind of pretty mysterious too. But
I
it
thought they
seems
were
like
the coolest.
It seems like the insectoids are the ones we know the least about.
When
I guess.
this goes back to talking about like DMT. They were seeing the insectoids too, and I've also heard of the insectoids seen on high doses of DXM. So I don't know. I feel like I could read from this
They're
article about how
interdimensional?
they're fucking 7 feet tall and they're this and they're that, but like
I can tell you.
this is something that people see like without a spaceship in it. See this on
All you
drugs
need to
on the
do,
couch.
all you need to do is set up a UFO in your bedroom using some candles, and you can get in contact with the weird insect UFO people.
So
Okay,
have you ever
I'm telling
played
you.
fucking Game Boy Advance on your fucking Windows computer? It's just like that. You're emulating the fucking spaceship.
They'll rape
I
you in
know
your
a lot of
dreams.
what I'm
Well, yeah,
presenting.
wouldn't you?
A lot of what I'm presenting sounds crazy, even within like a schizo sort of terrain we're in. But basically, all I'm saying is that outer space is inner space, and that like all these
Yeah.
beings are they're just
No.
archetypes in your own mind. It's fucking
No,
Jordan Peterson shit.
Well, no, like it's I get what he's saying because like we're all in one big space. You know,
Yep.
it's all perceptualized. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, perceived. Perceived. That's the
There we go.
word. It's all perceived.
It's how we
But-
perceive the world.
As soon as you
Yeah.
perceive something, it changes.
And it's all
Like as soon
fucking
as you
subjective.
see
just,
something, it's
just like
it's dancing in front of you.
and it's all subjective, just like the fucking you know, the fucking thing going through the vent, the little fucking weird quantum mechanics bullshit that I can't explain because I'm.
The double slit experiment does not prove that reality.
Look, bro, if I was around a double
Let's
slit,
say reality's
double
fake.
slit,
I'm saying fake is like,
bro, if I could.
Speaking of
slits
slits
that
and
quick,
vents, cloaca.
I can't keep
I barely
drinking.
got any left, and I'm super drunk.
I
was gonna.
No, I think
hold on,
the
hold on.
weird part is when we talk about fake or real as far as reality is concerned, I think it's weird in that reality is both like a totality and it is also nothing at all, like a void.
Nothing at all.
And it like
Nothing
flutters
at all.
back and forth between these states. And so you
What do you
could,
mean,
and
yeah?
this is the worst part, is because now I want to start describing it as binary. But then we're getting into like the
quantum.
stupidest ways to describe simulation theory.
No, but
It's like, what the fuck
binary.
am I talking about at
Binary
all?
is
But-
literally on
Ones and
off.
zeros.
Shit is quantum. I got fucking binary tattooed on my forearm by tranny hippies. I can't say that part, could I? You got to sense. Oh shit.
That's
No.
I've been good. I've been good this whole stream.
Well, yeah,
Because that shit's
acceptable.
quantum. The universe absolutely quantum, and these fucking people like fucking like real physicists like back in the day were actually trying to figure out the codes of the universe. Nowadays they're fucking telling you how like I can be 80% woman. They're telling you bullshit. You know, I'm just talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know, it was already mentioned. But
Well,
like
so
it
I
used to
went
be
and
they
I
were
looked up-
actually trying to figure out quantum fucking code of the universe. There's
Yes,
like
Matt.
there's a fucking
Okay.
fraction that ends
So-
up
Just go
everywhere.
on.
Anyway, so I went and looked up. You were talking about that alien thing that needed a botanist to actually keep it alive.
Yeah.
I went and looked up if there's any non-plant animals that are able to use photosynthesis, and most of them involve like somehow incorporating either ingesting plankton or just using some other kind of form of some kind of like living plant organism. So clams and flatworms are able to do this with the use of algae. And coral is able to do this with something called zooxanthellae, which live in the tissues. So if little, very primitive organisms on this planet are able to harness that stuff, what would like an alien have to do with, or how hard would it be for an alien to actually incorporate some kind of?
It's more a question.
A little secret.
I'm sorry, I got really autistic. I just had to
Well,
look
it's
this
more
up.
of a question about like how hard would it be for nature to incorporate it?
Well, aren't
Exactly.
humans somewhat don't humans somewhat do photosynthesis in the processing of vitamin D?
On a very small scale.
Yeah, I
But
get
it's
that.
not-
I understand that, but
Humans
like,
are also bioluminescent.
Right.
yeah, well, I am.
But-
'Cause I'm pasty.
They glow.
Yeah, they glow in the dark,
Oh,
and they're
other than
in my
like-
window.
Vegas for streaming, FYI. What's up, bro?
Yeah, keep,
Hey, I won't
It's
keep
screaming.
crazy.
you don't say the bad words.
It's all right. We should be wrapping it up anyway. I'm enjoying
Well,
this.
I want to see
We had a
them.
good
I want to
time.
see them pictures of them aliens.
There's
I
lots
wanna
of
see-
pictures, and maybe we can
No,
do
but-
that next time. I'll have a series of pictures I can show because I've been doing that rabbit hole. Like, because that's the one thing. Well, as all of this stuff comes to light, it makes me think that a lot of these images that we've been seeing, like the
Are
ones
real?
that have been around for decades, the classic
Shit, the
ones,
aliens.
some of them could be legitimate in some form or another. I don't know, but some of them could be. So I want to look at all of these
see.
classic ones.
That alien cloaca.
And now we have all these videos of ships. We have like endless videos of ships, but we have still very few videos of aliens. Just very few
Alien
images,
butt.
but they're around. The old videos, the old pictures.
I hope
are
the
cool.
Palladians don't have cloacas.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
damn
dude.
They do.
I'm out. I'm fucking out. Do I gotta go grab my? Hold on, I'll be back. I'll go get the Goldschlager and kill my
Drink
liver. Hold on.
water. Like a
God.
man.
Goldschlager. You have
Gotta
to go
drink.
for like
great.
the
Gotta drink straight liquor.
All right,
Goldschlager.
boys. It's clue up time. What are the last points we need to cover?
Aliens bad. China bad.
Kay,
space.
Can you your theories on the fucking the aliens that the government made a pact with that were like
I don't
gonna
have
get
theories,
taken
bro.
over within
No,
2030?
here's the thing. This is the thing about Kay. Kay, we don't need Kay's theories. We need him to remote view these things.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I'm
but
not
you
a
said
remote
remote
viewer.
viewing's bullshit.
No,
he did not. He loves remote viewing. He does it all the time.
remote viewing's cool.
I'm trying to
very-
figure
Literally
out
said it was
practical.
fake at the beginning of the stream.
Kay,
You
I need
misunderstood,
you
bro.
right
Kay
now.
says
Kay,
anything.
Kay, please remote view what is under the left paw of the Sphinx.
Me.
There's a challenge. So the problem with that question is that so many people have made up stories about what's there. If you try and look at it with your psychic powers, you're going to find the stories.
That actually makes sense to me. That makes a
You're
lot of sense to me.
This is all I've been saying this whole fucking stream, but okay. That's
What
all
I'm
I've been
saying is the
saying.
stories.
Look,
The
so-
stories aren't real, bro. The stories.
The
just made
story,
up.
I agree.
The stories are real because they're not like.
For the
I was
record, I
able to
agree.
get
Now, what
visual
Kay
images,
is
like,
saying
outside the
is because when you remote view, you are taking a specific point of consciousness and then experiencing that in its own subjectivity, as it subjectively viewed that event or that space. So, because so many people have all these theories about it, you are seeing their projections on.
You're not seeing
In
the
an
real thing.
All I'm saying is the
your
reality
interpretation
is-
of an amalgamation of their projections.
All
Yeah, you're
reality
not
is
seeing the real
our
thing.
projections.
Yes.
Like it's just.
Yeah,
It's just.
yeah, it's all
electrical
subjective and it's
is-
all your shit.
Electrical signals.
It is
interpreted by
a
your brain.
consensus of consciousness.
I'm
When we all
just fucking
decide that this is the way it is, then it is that way.
Yes.
Superimposition
That's
is a
why
theory that
lies
has
are
been
saying.
widely
That's all I've been
accepted,
saying.
but
That's why good enough lies are so.
I think you
fucking
can
powerful.
you can take it and you can do like the The Secret and all of that crap where you like create your own reality. But more to the point, first of all, I think on any level, like a collective consciousness thing, there's like no controlling that. What is true for the individual is that like the manifestations of good and evil on this earth are through you, from your perspective. Like always.
Well,
So you're
I
always left with a split in the road to choose the right or the wrong thing.
Hmm.
And they all lead to further consequences, further actions, but other people all over the place. They all do this. So it is just a like you want to be mindful to try to do what is natural, what is good. I say that.
You want to be mindless.
But the thing is, you can't just do good things, because good things often result in bad things happening. For me, it's a sense of stillness. Like I want
That's why
to
a
be
man
still,
can't
and
be
things
defined
around me
by
are
his works
still.
alone.
I also want to bring it back to what Kay said about the stars affecting us more than we affect the stars, or something to that effect. I don't know if I'm quoting you accurately, but that like it is, the secret and all that shit, there is some truth to that, but it's also that we are more affected than we're able to affect things. But that's the problem. The problem is that we can't seize control of this, this power, because the power is affecting us so dramatically.
For me,
seize
it's not a
control of
question
it, it's
if
just
I can
hard.
control the sun or not. I mean, that's just not a question.
Well, I
so
can
it's not a
control.
problem.
I can control the weather. I can't control the
I just
sun.
mean we're under mind control. Like we're under fucking
Yes,
like, mind
it
control.
is a matter of self-control. Once you can truly control yourself, then you can build on that, become a stronger person.
Exactly.
But the thing is,
who can do
if
that?
you were turned outwards trying to control all these things that you can't control, that are totally out of your power, you're distracted, you're useless. That's what they want.
And that's 99% of us. But yeah, absolutely, I totally agree. It's just
Can I
like
go-
that's what the occult is. Go ahead, yes, sir.
I just want to go off about controlling the weather for a second, if that's all right. It's your show,
Fuck
Yakov.
yeah.
I want
Fuck
permission.
yeah.
I want permission because Yakov knows me. Okay, so I learned this trick on the job site because if you're building homes and you're fucking it starts raining, you're fucked, right? So it
Right.
wouldn't be a rain dance. It would be like an anti-rain dance, but you wouldn't actually do anything. It'd be more like if you mentioned that the rain is coming, somebody might fucking come and smack you on the head with a 2x4. Like literally, it was like rough around the because people wanted to make money, you know. So I learned there that you could kind of by looking at the clouds, is how my brother put it. If you growl at them enough in your head, they'll go away. And I don't growl. I just kind of like move them a bit, and it's all based on belief because I'm always able to do it with my wife to the point to where now she's like, you know, she doesn't believe in much weird shit like that. But she's like, I believe that. Like I've seen it too many times. But if I was at the beach with my buddy's wife one time, and she's like a fucking like Catholic from fucking North Dakota or some shit, and she didn't believe me. You know what I mean? And it fucked the whole thing up. Rained on all of us. One time, that was the one time it didn't work. It pissed me off so bad. I was like, this bitch fucked me up so bad. And it's all because it's all about belief. The power of belief is so fucking powerful. It's literally shaped the world.
I wouldn't chalk it up to belief, but you could if you want.
Bozu. That's what you need.
What?
Bozu?
Some teriyaki sauce?
No, Bozu means shine monk. What you do is you make this little talisman and you hang it in your window after you get a heavy rain. And it wards off the rain.
I don't.
Hey, have you ever made a fucking talisman like that?
Yeah, I've made talismans before.
Like
I think he's talking about a Japanese one that children make at school.
Well, no,
it's like a paper thing.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm glad you knew what I was talking about. Thank you.
It's not that I don't believe in talismans. I don't need one for controlling the weather.
Yeah, no, my teacher told us that if humans get together as a group, it's possible for them to change the weather with their physical intelligence.
Yes, and it really only takes one. I would say, I really think it only takes one with people believing.
But he was
in
talking
that
about he was talking about changing the climate of the whole Earth, right?
Oh yeah, I can't do that. I cannot do that.
He was saying if you had 1 billion humans, you could control the climate.
We're gonna
on the
need
planet.
the aliens to do that. I'm thinking.
But you know what, bro? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna dig deep within myself. I'm gonna eat my vitamins. I'm gonna say my prayers. I might start doing some fucking Trent. What is that shit called? Trentadone.
Put mercury in your dick.
I would
slurp mercury up your cock.
I will not only
That's the
funnel
real
mercury, but I will also funnel white farts into my cock. And
White male fart porn.
It's fart male white porn. Fart male white porn.
Okay, cue up the song. Cue up the song. Can you do that?
All right. It's coming.
Wait.
Which one do you want? You want Uncle Shine? You want?
No, yeah, no,
Thursday
you
Lane?
just surprise us all, dude.
Chicken
Tell anybody about our little secret, I'll kill your dog.
With the most useless drop ever.
I love
what
that
the hell
drop.
would you use that for? Like, what purpose?
It's possible. There's very rare occurrences, but it's just a funny drop. It's. I mean, if you want to replace it, if you got something better, by all means, you're the.
I just don't know what the context is, dude. I don't understand. It's all very difficult.
It was when the soundboard
Whoa,
first came
body
out, and it was a
searching.
funny one.
It is a funny one. I'll give you that, dude.
That's all it is. If there's something more useful, by all means, tell me what it is. I'll cut it up.
Chat, what do you think is
while
more
I'm
useful?
working.
Should I just make it all Matt drops and it'll be like I'm arguing with Matt? We can attribute all sorts of terrible things to Matt.
Can we just isolate Matt saying what and replace the Stone Cold one?
What?
Yeah.
What?
How do you isolate audio live? I'm gonna look up a YouTube video. I'm gonna stream it right now for everybody to see and not credit anybody.
Live from the isolation tank, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Air Music Bot is not working. So.
Damn it! Damn it!
It's because you banned it last night.
No, I didn't. I never would have
pissed
done
off.
that. I've never
Yeah, you
done that in my
pissed off.
life.
I can't believe this.
Oh man, they fucked everything up, dude.
We
All
were
right, let's
supposed
see
to
if I
listen
can do it.
to-
So I wanted to close it out with music. Now I can't do shit. Now everything is fucked. I feel like
One
an
sec.
idiot.
I'll stream. I'll stream it or something.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah.
We will close it.
Yeah, he has a
with the
bookmark.
beautiful song.
Beautiful.
Everybody remember to go to Teespring, yada yada. Pay me money if you would. Why can't I hear it? This is going to
Yeah, I
shit.
can't hear it. This is horrible.
One sec.
Everything's going to shit, and I blame you.
Oh no, it's my fault.
No.
The volume is not clicking.
What?
Everything's not working. Did we get like?
Imagine the
cursed or something?
volume not clicking. That's unbelievable. I can't even.
It's like we've been
This is what
cursed or
happens,
something.
dude. We're damned to keep this fucking stream going forever at this.
You gotta
point.
have the air music bot or
Yeah.
something.
Air
that is so
music bot. I
fucking
hate that piece
weird.
of shit.
It works.
Hold
Let me
up.
try the
Doesn't
other bot
work.
then.
I'll stream it.
Yeah.
What is
H1.
this?
Option.
Yakov is gonna stream it, I guess.
No.
Somebody
Oh,
better be stupid.
fart
Wait,
in my
wait, wait,
face.
Pot in my face. Pot in my face. We're gonna blow our load, dude, before the crowd can even go wild for it.
Yeah, bro. We already got their money though. They're already in.
That's
the
true.
seats.
We've already gotten their money.
Are we still
Yeah.
are we still streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
absolutely.
Here we
Here
go.
it goes.
Different
Here it
bot.
goes.
Other bot.
There we go.
Here we go.
Is this doesn't sound right, dude?
Catch up.
The hell happened?
Why is it muted?
It's
Yeah,
not. I had it going. Kate fucked it up.
Oh,
This
sorry.
is a fucking shitstorm.
Dang it!
All right, one sec. Here it comes.
Damn
Make it play.
No results found.
God damn it. Make it
Why,
play, dude.
why when I look at fart in my face on YouTube, there's a fart in my face challenge, and there's like I'm not finding Thursday Lane here. There's a whole
It
deal
became
going
difficult.
on. Like all I looked up was fart in my face, and there's no Thursday Lane.
Is this right?
And no, it's giving us the wrong song, but it's still hard on my penis now. So
Alright, well, that sounds kind of funny.
Do it.
Hey, she was riding on my dick. Then she started farting on my dick. God damn, not again.
I don't know what the fuck this is,
God
but I think
damn,
it'll have to
not
do.
again.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of whatever the fuck the stream is called. We'll come and lie about Bigfoot and aliens more next time.
Yep.
So until then, please pay me money with the links that you see below my face.
Damn, not again.
Thank you all very much.